I'd like to show you something.
The pace when I'm running, I always take what I want and I always give it 100. Don't need a bank, no I'm funded. Play the game like it's nothing. I'm always thankful for something. Don't take for granted, stay humble. Now wake up! It's time to look at the enemy. Look in the mirror if he is no friend to me. It's not working out, maybe it's the chemistry. It's time to break up so I can make a better me. Better believe in your mind, cause it's everything. You can mold, shape, find almost anything. All it takes is some time and some clarity to find your identity. It's mind over everything. And when I feel like this, I'm immortal. When I feel like this, I'm immortal. When I feel like this, I'm immortal. When I feel like this, I'm
You have to ask yourself one question. Do I feel lucky?
Woo! Well, good evening, folks. Welcome to episode 122 of Toxic Tuesday. And you've got a prime figure here. Yeah. How are you all doing tonight? Thank you for jumping on in here. Guys, we're talking Flash Gordon tonight. Like, this one, honestly, to be fair, we should have done like a lot sooner. I'm sorry we didn't get to it sooner. That's on me. My brain is like a scrambled mess. So all the fault falls on me. But we're here. We're doing it tonight. We're doing it live. And it's better late than never. But happy to see you all here. We are getting a nice, huge crowd in here. P.O.Shay's helicopter tour is coming out for $2 a nick. Defender of the Universe. Thank you for the $2, sir. Memorable song. We'll definitely touch on the soundtrack. But let's welcome our faces to chat. Dave C, a huge Flash Gordon fan. Great guy as well. FKC 2005. Daz Wolfen. Sorry, Daz. Tyrannus Cygnus. How you doing, man? Putin's cat. Darth Viewer. Hello. Stephen M. Cal. Hello. Alabama Wyatt. What's up? Welcome to Toxic Tuesday, sir. Yolanda Gaines. Nice to see you here. Yaknomino. Keely Chow. Hello. And D-Bud Martin. He's a Dolph Lundgren member. I gotta acknowledge that. Emperor's NM. How you doing? Yolanda Gaines. Hello. RJ Godzilla 81. Vulcan lives. How you doing, sir? Soy Base Jeremy. Hello. And I think we got everyone for now. Oh, Phantom Outsider, 11 Alpha, Wagner, Brad Young, JT Gunn, Cavatino, Cavalry Chowman, Che, Mars, Monkey Max. All right, guys, let's bring in the dude. One dude at Gilded King Vince Womack. Always got to acknowledge the Gilded King himself here. Hey, I'll take you for however long I can get you. And JT Gunn's been a member for 3 months. Thank you for being a member, sir. And congratulations on your recent success. I've been paying attention. Keep that shit up, my guy. All right, let's bring in our dudes here. We'll start off with that 70s rock fan. How's it going, man?
Well, groovy. Good evening to you.
Ooh, groovy. Yeah. Is it groovy?
So, yes, I'm really excited about tonight. You know, the Emperor Wang and, you know, all those great characters we love from Flash Gordon. I've watched it several times in the last few days to prepare. So, very excited.
Are you sure you watched the right movie, though? It's not like you watched...
Dr. Flexi Jerkoff, Planet Porno. It's all great stuff. Sorry, are you trying to say I've watched the wrong movie? Oh, shit.
I think you watched Flash Gordon.
Oh, well, I'll just have to wing it then. I'll have to wang it then. I'll just have to wang it. Anyway, great to be here, mate.
Happy to have you here, sir. Let's have fun tonight. We can all use a little fun in the world. So I'm with you, man. Let's make tonight legendary. How's it going, Clytus?
I'm doing rather good tonight, my friend.
Are you Dr. Doom with the gold plate?
I am. But whenever things get bad, I look like Marty Friedman.
Marty Freeman. I see what you did there with that Megadeth reference. I see that.
No. In the final scene where you get to see my lovely, lovely persona, you'll see it. I'll make mention of it.
That oozy form where
Yes. The eyes. They look like
dude, those. I remember when I first saw those. I think I saw that when I was a kid. I was just like, whoa. I think that was my first time I ever saw eyes split out ever. I think. I could be wrong, but that's at least my earliest memory that I recall was that.
This is such a great movie. I'm surprised this is 123 episodes, 22 episodes. Now we're getting to it.
Right now we're getting to Flash Gordon.
Yeah,
I know. It shows you we still have so much to do. Despite
I agree.
121 previous episodes, there's still so much we have yet to do. That's the beauty of Toxic Tuesday.
By now, Clytus, we have to hold back. We can't let it all go at once. We
Not
gotta
all at
hold
once.
some stuff back, you know.
Let it trickle out like little bit of curdled butter.
Well, holy macaroni.
There's no sense in going off half-cocked.
Oh my God, the cock.
Bottoms up.
Oh my god! I love you. I love you guys. This is great.
I love the Avatar, by the way, dude, and I can't wait to see Maiden in the fall. I can't wait, but not to talk. You turn this into an Iron Maiden show because we got a badass movie to talk about tonight. The man who makes all the wonderful visual happens. He's basically the technician. He basically is he really makes a lot of the show what it is as great as it is. How's it going, Mark?
Thank you. Oh yeah. Well, I try to engineer that. You know, it's my day job, so why not have fun here and put all those premiere skills from work together and graphic arts, right? Yeah. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to this movie with Darth Vader and Luke tonight. I think it's going to be a great movie. It's going to be awesome. So yeah, I did the despecialized edition because we don't want all those crappy CGI effects. We want realistic real effects, right? So looking forward to that tonight. But all right, now I was gonna do the Flash Gordon joke, but I didn't want to screw around with the YouTubes. We're probably already demonetized by saying that, but but yeah, this movie just
I already checked. We're demonetized. It's okay.
You can't be demonetized when you're already not monetized.
Yeah, it's one of those weird things where I almost feel a little uneasy if Toxic Tuesday does get monetized. Like one of my shows, I think about a month ago, for some reason was demonetized and it became remonetized. I'm like, I almost feel like I need to turn it off. I almost feel like I need to turn that shit back off because it's just like Toxic Tuesday is a show that's best fit when it's fully demonetized. And guys, we got there in under 10 minutes, so we can all pat each other on our backs. We got fully demonetized.
I feel accomplished.
Thank you, Clytus. Yeah, but yeah, this movie, or Flash Gordon, and we're gonna get more of our panel on. One of them happens to be kind of a comic book expert and Flash Gordon expert. So. But you can see the influence of Flash Gordon. This movie the Queen soundtrack is incredible, but even without that soundtrack, it's still good. But I can't get the Flash out of my head, that theme song, because I've watched the movie a few times. So every time I hear something, I hear the Flash. So yeah, I got to clip that right now. Yep.
What clip?
Yeah,
what? We
Flash.
didn't
The Flash.
We didn't.
No, but
it must be in your head.
Must be in my head. Yeah. But we might have a couple of fun. Oh, I got a new version uploaded of that clip that I showed before the show. So that's even a new improved version. So This is let me know when you want to play it, or you click on it. There's a
No,
special.
George, go ahead. Go ahead, play it real quickly, and because
Yeah,
that way
let's
acknowledge
get
this
everyone-
comment real quickly.
That'll get everyone in the mood. Yep.
I'll come. If you rocket there right away.
That time, I heard you coming.
Lying bitch.
You have the biggest dick I've ever seen on a man.
Lying bitch.
Oh man!
So thank you, Mads, for taking part and replacing Timothy Dalton for that epic scene.
All right. First of two things. Tyrannus. I am going to go to the Arcada C. Saxon. I know exactly what place you're talking about, and I do plan on seeing that in there. I didn't see Anthrax there when they had Havoc. I did have David from Havoc on my channel, though, about 2 years ago. You should check out that interview. Look it up, my dude. All right? Just saying. And, guys, I just want to give a little, I'm going to do a little bragging thing here. Tonight, we hit 1,900 subs, so that means we're 100 away from 2K, so...
Congrats.
Well played, Nick. Congrats.
Oh, so that means we're at to have a 2K party soon. That means Nick needs to get smashingly hammered for it. Like, I need to fall over my seat. You guys need to watch me fall off my chair, and I am be able to finish the stream. So maybe if the market really wants this show, this 2K show, we'll do it, because I think that'd be very fun if I got so drunk that I couldn't even stand on my chair. Just saying, it'd be fun. So let me know if you feel differently, but if you want to give me a hell yeah. Anyways,
What I need from you, I need you to get Oliver Reed drunk.
Oh, you're gonna need somebody to handle the controls if you're gonna get that drunk.
I probably would have Mark or Ironcaster. Or
Yeah.
have to be the one that
It would be a harder job.
Chaperones.
It would be a lot
Ooh,
harder.
that's
to
a
get
good
all the
idea.
reads.
I don't know if I had the time to do 24 hours, but I should have the time to do at least maybe 6 hours, maybe 12. 12 might be a stretch considering home life, dad life, boyfriend, life, work life.
You
But
have a boyfriend?
I think.
Yeah.
Oh, revelation! Clip that on screen right now. Nick reveals all.
You have the biggest dick I've ever seen on a man.
Like, I don't know if it's gay unless you like make eye contact while there's the blowjob. Blowjob's not that gay.
I was going to say in response to Bruce that getting Oliver Reed drunk is not a challenge. Getting him sober would be a big challenge.
I've yet to see that.
I am worried that if did Clytus say his pre-cum was chunky? I mean, there's probably a reason to see a doctor there.
We don't have good insurance here on Mongo. They've 6 slaves to go to the doctor just for a headache pill.
Oh, this show's already fucked, and we haven't even started the slideshow yet. Hi, Dustin. By the way,
thank you for having me. I'm so glad to be here. You show up and it's pre-cum this and edging and whatever else is going on here. Talking about this movie, this movie is like, it does kind of feel like they cut down a porno.
There's a lot of homoeroticism.
I know. It's like they took out
lot.
all like any of the nudity or anything like that. They just cut it all out, and this is the movie you're left with. The special effects are porn quality.
All the better for that. I like that.
I'm not saying it's a negative.
I like the fact they look like that.
I'm not saying it's a negative. I'm just pointing out, it's just how I'm watching and I'm like, man, like, where are the titties?
Did you watch it remastered though? This thing remastered. Yeah, it's like, you can tell still it's an old movie, but the colors.
Oh, it's beautiful.
Oh, they do pop for sure.
And there's body doubles in this too.
Dude.
Body triples even.
Flash Gordon is such a good movie. It's underrated.
All right. So, anyways, Tom will be here when Tom will be here, guys. Redshirt couldn't make it tonight. He's got stuff. He's got real life stuff, and we haven't heard from Backdoor Gary. He's probably busy cleaning it out. We'll forgive him for that.
He went to that butt stuff motel.
Yeah, we absolutely forgive Redshirt though. We absolutely, without a doubt.
Yeah, shout out to Redshirt.
Yeah, shout out to Redshirt. And Tom will be here when he's here. But meanwhile, we got a guy who is somewhat a bit of a wizard, if you will, with the comics and the books, and obviously this movie as well. And he's on the Comic Shop Show, and I'm also with him twice a week on Midnight's Edge. So I see him 3 to 4 to 5 times a week. How's it going, Clubby?
Hey, my friends, you hear me okay?
Oh, yes. Dude. Yes, sir.
All right. Good to see you, brothers. All right. Excited about this. Love this movie. Love this character. If we'd done this it's my fault too, because I planned on doing something earlier last month and I dropped the ball on it. I'm still going to do a Flash Gordon show because in January, Flash Gordon character turned 90.
Wow.
January 7th, 1994, his first King features strip debuted. So this is a 90-year-old character. And even he was kind of derivative of some other things.
Jeez. You know, I figure it's like maybe like 80, but 90.
Oh, yeah.
Holy crap.
And you were there at the beginning, Clubby.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
It was my favorite strip. Yeah. Yeah,
Wow.
and the great Alex Raymond. That's one of my favorite things about the movie, in addition to that great soundtrack, is the opening credits uses all Alex Raymond art, which, of course, is the original artist and creator of Flash Gordon from his old strips. I have a bunch of those big albums that reprint his Sunday strips. Beautiful art, one of the greatest. He has kind of a tragic story, Alex Raymond, but it's one of the greatest of the comic strip artists who ever lived back then, and gave us Flash Gordon initially, basically because King Features couldn't get the rights to a John Carter comic, and they were trying to emulate the success of the Buck Rogers merchandise comics and pulps and stuff, and they couldn't get a handle on doing. They couldn't get John Carter, so they, to be honest, kind of ripped him off a little bit. So yeah. And I love Flash Gordon.
Dude, I mean,
1980 was a crazy year for me, by the way.
Yeah.
Man,
dude. Go ahead. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, this movie, after like the summer of 1980, going to see The Empire Strikes Back 15 or 16 times. When this came out in like December, November, wherever it was, I saw this one about 16 something freaking times in the theater. I just kept going. I mean, I lived in the movie theaters that year. Crazy, man.
Oh yeah.
Nice.
I kept going and going.
That's
Well,
glorious.
movies took forever back then at the theater.
Well, the thing is, it felt like that was a time where there was incentive to go to the movie theater, not just because of the cheaper prices, but the frequency of the quality of movies coming out. But this is the type of movie also with all the colors. It really benefits from the spectacle of seeing it on a giant screen. I'm like already imagining like the colors here on these opening credits, and you're like, whoa, this had to have been wild to have seen on a giant screen.
Oh, it's beautiful. I mean, dude.
Oh yeah.
Loved it.
It had to have been, as we like to say around these parts, stunning, because it is visually stunning, and well, kind of even brave, because this movie was taking all of these leaps, being this spectacle. It was being exactly that. It was a spectacle.
And it's got quite a history about getting made with the DoD artists. And I mean, I watched there's a great movie documentary. It was crowdfunded after Flash, and telling the story of
that's
this
cool.
movie and how it got made. Yeah, I just watched it today again. So, God, what a story! And you know, he wanted a serious movie. And the screenwriter is famous, of course, for one of Clobbering Times and my famous
Lorenzo Semple Jr.
Yep, and Batman 66, right? Batman.
Yeah, he worked on Batman 66. Yes.
Yeah, so he was kind of expecting a more serious. This is campy, but it's not bad campy. I mean, it's right tone, I think.
Mike Hodges, the director, didn't exactly have a track record in campy science fiction fantasy.
Yeah.
he was a gritty director for like Get Carter and stuff like that.
All right, I'm gonna bring this down so we can look at these great comic cards. And now, Mark or Clawby, correct me if I'm wrong, but when I did homework into this, because we're talking about the campiness versus the seriousness, because this movie does have a little bit of both, not to a point where it's like very polarizing.
Yeah.
But there's definitely, it's like when it gets dark, it gets really dark. I heard that there was 2 different crews working on this movie. And one crew, it seems that there were some communication issues. One crew thought this was supposed to be a full-on campy movie. And the other thought it was supposed to be like a full-on dark like movie. Not like Zack Snyder dark, but more of just like a serious movie with a serious tonality to it. It seems like there were some communication issues. Apparently even the cast members had issues with the 2 separate crews, because they were like, which one are we doing?
Well, you had 2 crews. You had an Italian speaking crew and an English speaking crew, which caused a lot of the
so there
problems.
was 2 different crews. Thank you, Mark. I was wondering if there was merit to that. Okay.
Because of Dino De Laurentiis and the Italian filmmakers, but they filmed most of the movie in England. But I guess when I was watching the documentary, they brought a lot of the Italian crew over. So just the communication problems, and it's a really technical movie in terms of all the wire work and practical effects and
all the practical effects in this movie. Oh my god!
Yeah.
So that did cause a lot of and plus with the star, you had a lot of problems with the star of the show.
They had to dub him, and well, he got the job because Dino De Laurentiis' wife's fancying him from the dating game.
Like some dating show, like some
dating game
show.
The dating game, yeah.
Okay, the dating.
The idiot Dino De Laurentiis' wife took a fancy to him because he was on the dating game, and
I wonder why she took a fancy to him. I mean,
I can't imagine.
I can't even imagine why. No, if I'm going to be fair here towards Sam J. Jones, you know what I do give him credit for? He stripped. They're like, hey, this is how Flash Gordon looks like. You need to dye your hair blonde for the movie. And he did it. He did it. Nowadays, that's
like Luke Skywalker.
Why are you making me dye my hair blonde for a blonde-haired character? Because that's how the character looks like.
You'd have to hire a real blonde now, wouldn't you? I mean, you can't have people playing.
I respect that Sam Jones did it, and because nowadays it seems like that's even a hassle for actors to do something as simple as that.
And
it's like we're not telling you to get plastic surgery on your face.
It was Princess Aurora's hair all natural too. Was it natural color? Upstairs, downstairs, everywhere.
Oh, they also made him wear. They made him wear blue contact lenses too. Nothing like Luke Skywalker.
Yeah.
I heard. I was like, okay, and it's fine. I can look past the eyes, but at least they got the hair, because that's the thing. It's like, okay, at least you got the more recognizable features of the character intact, even though he was not a football player in the comics. I do know that much.
Yeah, the original
polo player.
He was a polo player in the original script, but it's varied a few times. Polo was badass, man. No, but then actually on the Buster Crabbe serial, he was just an Olympic swimmer and all that stuff. I mean, Buster Crabbe, of course, the 30s was a very popular movie serial of like 3 different 12-part serials with the great Larry Buster Crabbe. So.
Buster Nut.
And then what happened with Sam Jones? His management, he got too big for his britches, and he admits as much in his Life After Flash movie, and he just really had an ego, and he was getting into fights. Before the movie got made, they were worried, he had a big cut in his face, and he was showing up late to the set. So the other actors, really liked him, but they were kind of saying he was being a prima donna during the filming. And his management, he was looking, I think, for a percentage of the gross or some more money. So when they had a 2-week break, I think over Christmas, he went back to the States, and then he never came back. So that's why it's not his voice in the movie, which kind of sucks, as the guy has a good voice. So I wonder if, as good as the acting performance is, God, I wish there was a cut with his voice. So they had to bring in a body double and finish some of the scenes, and then they decided to dub the whole movie. Because they had such a falling out. So years later, he apologized. He called Dino before he died and said, basically, I was a big D, and I apologize. He's like, oh, we're all good now. But he's like, I should have listened to you.
He's a pretty stand-up dude. Now, by the way, that's how we know that this gentleman, Sam J. Jones, this is not the only legendary comic strip character he's ever played. And he was after this, he was in a TV movie pilot for The Spirit, Will Eisner's character, The Spirit.
Holy shit.
One-time pilot. Not a visitor from Deep Space Nine happened to be on there as well. It was so it's pretty interesting. It's pretty way better than that. It's not great, but it's better than that garbage that what's his face? Frank Miller did in that horrible Spirit movie. The Spirit.
The Spirit.
Yeah, and The Spirit's not as big as
in a while, man. I think I only saw that once.
Bad.
And maybe that's why. I can't even remember how he felt about it.
The Spirit's not as big as Flash Gordon, obviously, as a strip character, but he was pretty big, and Will Eisner's one of the greats. So, yeah, so he has actually played two. Just like.
And here's one of the very, very, very few scenes on Earth before the rest of the movie. And I remember, like, making me think, oh, okay, we're gonna have this little hero adventure, and they're gonna end up back in space towards the end. And the rest of this movie it's all in space. It's almost dominated by space, which is like, oh, okay, we're going that route. Okay, I didn't expect that. But dude, I love this plane sequence.
That's Robbie Coltrane. That's Robbie Coltrane right there. Robbie Coltrane standing where next to the plane. He was the mechanic.
Next to the Robbie Coltrane. Holy crap!
Yep. I just remembered he's in this. It's one of his earliest screen roles. Just him a tiny role.
Yeah, him and William Hootkins are in this one. Two big guys.
It might even have been filmed in Scotland, that bit. I'm not sure.
I like how Flash Gordon straight up, he's like one of those guys where he wears his own, he's the equivalent of the band member who wears his own shirt.
Yeah, that was the Isle.
That
airfield.
His own shirt.
that was an airfield in the Isle of Skye in Scotland. I guess Robbie Coltrane being Scottish, he was just nearby. They could just, yeah, you'll do.
Can you sign this autograph for my kid? Yeah, sure. Yeah, it's all good. I have seen I'm trying to think who has Sam Jones been on within us for. I know he did talk with the Critical Drinker. I know he did a conversation with him. What, like 18 months ago, something like that?
Really?
I didn't catch it, but I remember hearing I'm like, whoa, that's like my worlds colliding. Critical Drinker talking with Flash Gordon. I never caught it. Maybe I should finally catch that conversation. I know he had a comic that I don't know if he had a writing credit involved or if he just endorsed it, but I do know he was involved at the very minimum in promoting it. And someone in chat let me know, but I know he had some level of involvement with that comic. And Darth Viewer says it was a good interview. Okay, I will have to look that up.
Which comic?
There was a Flash Gordon comic book that was made on Indiegogo. Yeah. I can't remember who was the main writer. Yeah, I gotta look into it, but I would like to know. That's for sure.
On Indiegogo, well, I mean, he's still not in the public domain that I know of.
Well, my guess is maybe they're like, hey, can you promote this comic book since you play the character? I don't know. That's just my guess. That's my educated guess. I don't know for sure.
Gotcha.
Tom says, "Love you guys for making amazing
Tom.
Oh, dude. You get a lot of them here, Tom. Hey, if you can't make it, man, it's all.
But you're a strapping man too, so you can show up. Don't be intimidated by us. Yep.
Just curdle your sperm. It'll be fine.
Yeah, Tom. So here you have this scene here. Fellers. Of course, you have William Hootkins, who has been in the original Star Wars. He's Porkins. He was in this. He was in the first Batman movie with Michael Keaton. Yeah. He was Porkins. He got blown up. He didn't get to say. He didn't live long enough to stay on target. There he is,
right.
William Hootkins.
Right, yeah.
So your Muslim.
Raiders of the Lost Ark, also, by the way.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, you're good. You're Muslim uncle. How's it going, sir? For $4.99, it said I had a huge crush on the princess.
Who didn't?
Dale. Love that she did this movie and swept up and married. Hello, nurse. I heard that in the Animaniacs voice when I heard that. Maybe that's because I think that may have been the first I think, the first piece of media where I heard that line. So I always associated that line with the Animaniacs, even though it came way before that show. I would learn later on as I got older in life, but that's where I affiliated that line because I think it was Yakko who said that line a lot. So, anyways, yeah, as tragic as this plane crash is, it is a visual treat for us, the viewers, because oh, hey, Killy Chow, he has the same life experience. Yeah. Dude, the colors during this are a trip. I can't imagine if I was like a hippie during this time and I wanted to go see this movie and saw this had to have been, this is like the comic book heroic version of The Wall, except it's a lot more coherent than The Wall. The Wall takes like 800 viewings for you to truly grasp everything that's going on. Whereas Flash Gordon's a lot more accessible and it's not even close. Well, at least the man, these colors would, man, whoo, like
originally were gonna they asked Pink Floyd for the to do the soundtrack.
Yeah,
and,
that's something.
And one of the scenes, I can't remember which scene it was. They were filming. They were playing Pink Floyd while they were filming it, and didn't get used. But Floyd would definitely work for this too. I can see.
I could see, especially if it was like the Syd Barrett era where they're a bit more psychedelic. The Syd Barrett era would definitely have benefited from it. I mean, I don't see stuff like The Wall on here because maybe that's just me.
No, you're right. I think the more trippy stuff.
Yeah, I don't see as much as I actually do like The Wall. I mean, that I actually think that's a good album. I just don't see that one fitting with this. But the psychedelic stuff.
So we should mention that we're talking about how good it looks. It is Gilbert Taylor, who was the Star Wars cinematographer, is the cinematographer in this. Yeah,
I would say if this was a darker movie, like more like, like more serious, then maybe something like Dark Side of the Moon would work. But I don't see that working necessarily in this because it is so bright. It is kind of comic booky. So I don't see Pink Floyd actually really coming and working here.
Yeah, and that's why I think Queen actually is one of those rare things where it was a hand in glove fit. It worked out to that they happen to love what they were working on too, which is good because the enthusiasm will add to it. We're like, okay, this is not just a job, but hey, we like what we're working on. This seems like a cool movie.
So I saw Queen for the first time in concert just after this came out.
No,
yeah, and they played the theme, and they played the theme, and then they played the battle theme as well, or the hero, or whatever it was, the hard rock one. Yeah,
dude.
We only played 2 tracks from it, but it was.
There was a video game back in '83 or '84 called Vanguard, and it was an arcade first, and they released it on Atari and 2600 and such. But they used the lines or the tune from the battle music for Vanguard. And I don't know if you guys remember that or not.
I can't say that I do or do not remember that. It's not coming to mind. It's not, unfortunately. I wish I could say that it was, but it's not.
It's okay.
Well, plus, I was going to say that the amazing Brian Blessed gave Queen the title track for one of their upcoming soundtracks, Highlander. He says, "Do you want to live forever?" And Brian Blessed is so amazing in this movie. Yeah. So I wonder if Freddie Mercury or the boys caught that line in the movie, because that's one of the most amazing songs in Highlander. Do you want to live forever?
This is definitely a vinyl I would like to seek out, because I wonder, especially like, imagine if they even have at least a page or 2 of the comic art in the vinyl, because especially when there's like the gate. I mean, for any of those in the chat who know the vinyl terminology, I know 7, you know what I'm speaking of. When you have the gate folds, you open up, you get the interiors, you get to look at all the visually stunning art. I love when like movie soundtracks or music albums where they add in the extended art, and I really feel like the Flash Gordon vinyl experience would really benefit from having the comic book art within that vinyl of the interior. That would just if they do like a re-release edition,
there probably is a version like that. I mean, I just had the original release, which didn't have any special inserts or anything. It was just the no gatefold, just the pictures on the back from the movie.
Okay, well,
but there must be a special. I'm sure there's a probably a deluxe edition somewhere.
Well, if it doesn't exist and someone who worked on the movie is listening to a show, because there's 70 of you in here, show, thank you. If you're out there listening, you worked on this movie, pitch the idea 5 years ago. Give us a gatefold vinyl, comic book art in the interiors. It will sell bigly. I promise that. That's not even up for dispute. You'll get dudes who don't even probably have many vinyls who will get that just so they can admire the comic art in massive form. Why would you pass up on that opportunity? Just saying.
So,
go ahead, 70s.
No, I was just going to say it was the hero they played live. It was the track, the one that's over the end credits.
Oh,
and it rocks
dude.
hard live. That one.
Oh, I bet. Oh, that is bragging rights, my friend. That
it was a great gig. It was a magnificent gig. Saw them twice in concert, and both times were special, very special. Yeah.
Dude,
what a band!
I hate you just a little bit, 70s. Just a little.
I hate me too. Don't worry. I'm jealous of my younger self. I saw the last.
Upon the young.
I saw the last gig they ever did at Nebworth Festival.
Oh, that was funny.
Yeah. Anyway.
Anyways, Peel Shades Helicopter Tours for $2 says, my first concert, Pink Floyd Pulse at Great Woods, Massachusetts. Hey, that's a great first concert, man. I wish I was at that one. I mean, I grew up on the Sid Barrett stuff and Dark Side. That was where it was for me.
And a very good friend of mine, Mal Craggs, was the tour manager for that tour of Pink Floyd.
Oh,
he's been on my show a couple of times. Yeah,
nice. Cavatino says Sam J. Jones saves the galaxy. That was the name of the comic back in 2023. And his interview with the Drinker was on his After Hours channel, dated March 2nd of 2022. All right, chat, know where to look back and how far to go back to find it. And the book was called Sam J. Jones Saves the Galaxy, not Flash. Okay. I'm still curious. I want to check that out. That sounds like it's fun. I mean, we do got a Dean Cain comic coming, so why not? I'll check that out. Hopefully, I'll have to look that up and see if they still got copies available, because that would be fun to read. I could use a good action story. I mean, we could all use a good action story nowadays. We're kind of like thirsting for it, really.
So I just wanted to mention Peter Wingard here. It's a shame we never see his face. Peter Wingard is Clytus.
But
he had one of the best tashes in the business. He had
great
the
actor.
Wonderful mustache. Flamboyant. He was in Jason King and Department S back in the 70s in Britain.
He was one of my favorite episodes of The Prisoner, The Checkmate.
Yeah, he had such a great tash, and you don't get to see it here.
Yeah, great actor.
D-Bud
also a Doctor Who episode.
He just beat me to something I was about to say. Clytus was, I look at him and I can't help but think about Doctor Doom, because he's basically Doctor Doom with a gold chrome job. And I love the gold. And to me, I was just like, that's so shamelessly comic booky. Yeah. Imagine Dr. Doom saying that he's 24 karat gold.
Yeah, this was him in later life, but when you see him in the shows Department S and Jason King, he had the most flamboyant dress sense and a huge tash.
Doom wouldn't take orders from Ming, though.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Great actor,
look at that.
Yeah, look at there he is. That's
Tony Iommi right there.
This was the kind of show I watched as a kid. Jason King.
There's Peter.
Dude,
he was great.
That hair and that stash, man.
He must have had to fight the ladies away with that.
I could look at women and they would become pregnant.
That voice too, man. It was the voice too, buddy.
He maybe was fighting the guys away. Let's put it that way.
Dude, read the weather for me. I've got a boner.
Oh, he had a great voice, man.
The voice was brilliant. Yeah, he was
number two on a great episode of The Prisoner.
Great actor. Yeah, great actor.
Then he was on Planet of Fire of Doctor Who, of course.
Yes.
Oh, Doctor Who. Nice. I like that.
I love those shows like Jason King and Department S, stuff like that, British 70s stuff, and The Prisoner, of course. And all those, that era, there's such great television shows in Britain.
Yes, sir.
You know, what was my, I guess you could call it non-Mandela effect. For some reason, when I saw this as a kid, I always had this idea in my head that Flash Gordon had powers. And then when I rewatched it, a little bit later on my life, I'm like, oh, he doesn't have powers. Why did
Just
I
an
think he had
enormous
powers
penis.
as a kid?
Just an enormous penis.
But he's just a human who's kick ass. He basically he knows how to use his football abilities, and he doesn't. He didn't come into us almost like a Batman situation where he's the world's greatest detective. It's just he's just a guy who just straight up just kicks ass. Simply put, that's all. He's very simple meat and potatoes. But he's fun about how he goes about kicking ass, and he doesn't have like a Terminator or John Wick super hitman thing going. He's just a regular guy who happens to play football, and he has a little bit of a footballish way of how he goes about taking care of business. And there's look at that shirt. Look at this Flash Gordon shirt.
He knows how to handle his balls. Let's put it that way.
If it hadn't been for that idiot Dr. Zarkov, we would have melee for hours.
Mad feels very good when he's handled like that. You could see his face when he had the outcome of that.
Did you say outcome?
Oh,
yeah. I mean, so we all know Princess Aura there. Her dress is wonderful, but I think Brian Blessed's outfit is the best. To be honest, he's dressed. Brian Blessed is the sexiest.
I disagree. I disagree. John Hallam, the number 2 Hawkman. He is.
Oh, he's even more scantily clad.
He's more scantily clad, and his head of hair, his mane is amazing.
He's got mane.
His mane, upper mane.
He's got an upper mane that's amazing. Yes, you're right. I never saw his lower mane.
We need clarification on the manes because I know on Toxic
is
Tuesday a mane could be upper or lower, and we need clarification.
It's not a weave.
Context.
It's not a weave.
Not a weave.
Very separate.
You're not Culture Casino. You're not Culture Casino.
Go back one.
Well, what, dude? I remember that freaked me out. It's not that they wore those weird. I actually like these red outfits, but the fact that they gave them teeth. That is because they kind of do like that. I'm like, oh, that's what they're doing. That's just look. Tell me that they're not doing that. Here, let's see if we can do a side by side thing.
Go Power Rangers.
All right, hold up. Okay, look, see? Look at these guys. And I can't do an exact 50-50 side by side, but dude, look at that.
Reminds me of the Gimp from Pulp Fiction, but anyway.
But that said, I think these are I actually like how
awesome
these suits are. I actually wish we had more suits that look like straight costume suits, not something where it's like
you
a
think
bunch
it looks
of
straight.
And the color. They have the
I actually do think he does look straight, and I'm good with this.
You can tell the Italian design influence.
Like Lululemon Warriors.
Well, I like that.
I like it. It's cool.
I like that they feel like comic book superhero, designs. I like that it's not like a military thing or an armor thing. I mean, there's a ton of place for that for certain characters, but now it feels like it's become the norm for almost everything. And on top of it, the colors are not muted. I love seeing the red pop out on these suits. That is how this should be. It's almost I'm wondering how Clubby, Mark, how does our friend Mr. Kirby feel about Flash Gordon? I mean, look at the color in this movie. It's almost like a Kirby movie without the Kirby.
It's very Kirby. I don't know if you ever watched the movie, but yeah. I'm sure you enjoyed it if you saw it.
So I like Phantom Outsider's comment. Ming had a decent dental plan for his cards. He might have been a tyrant, but the benefits were great.
Well, it has a very comic book feel, which is great too. I mean, when you watch that open again, oh, I guess who copied that? I'm not sure who the first one was to put comic book panels in a movie. That opening, but of course Marvel famously does that in all their openings, and it's kind of become a thing now. But no, it's just it has a great comic book 4-color feel, with the pop, and especially watching the remastered edition, and watching this years ago on a VHS tape. I mean, we still enjoyed it, but it's not, just that much better when you can see it, on a big screen and with the, good speakers and sound effects going.
Did you just see all that hair fly? Dude, that was awesome.
Yeah.
See, that's what it's about, is watching the hair fly and just him moving all dashing like he's it's almost like he's Pantene Pro V, but for football and for Flash Gordon. It's like he's promoting 3 gigs all at once. He's promoting football and shampoo and a movie.
There he is. There's John Hallam.
That's it. Yeah, it's some heady hair.
He's also in the movie Dragon Slayer.
So this came out in 1980, so it was filmed in 1979. I could actually see it. Now, granted, I'm glad it ended up being Mike Hodges, but I could have seen George Lucas work on this. I could have seen him work on this. I mean, it's sci-fi, it's space, little opera-ish at times, and I know he wanted to do this, and if it were to have happened,
he wanted to do Flash Gordon, yeah.
Yeah, I could see it happen if in case Hodges didn't take the job and Lucas did. I feel like he could have been a good solid fit. I feel like he would have not dialed down on the weirdness and the crazy comic bookiness. I feel like, especially at that time period, he probably would have went all the way with it with Hodges, but luckily we didn't get any loss of that with Hodges. So we don't have to think, oh man, what could have been. I feel like we got what we could out of this, and that's what's great. We don't have to be left with the what it is, because this movie delivers the goods. It is a action movie, and it's at times a comedy movie, not full on comedy, but it's got comical moments. But man, it is so much fun, even though it's pretty dark, randomly dark at certain parts. And man, this dude, he hates his daughter. Like, I was like, wow, man, what's with this dude, bro? What's with you, man?
He's a traitor.
Hey, Penny, and
you thought of it, not me.
Not a pretty sight.
Because you said that, now we have to do this.
Like,
oh my God, the cock.
Thank you, Mr. Bond.
That's disturbing on a number of levels.
You and these clips.
My name is Bond, James Bond.
I don't know how you think of these clips, but the fact that you do, you somehow continue to wow and surprise me each and every damn time.
Now we get to probably Gary's favorite part of the movie, the male torture.
Oh, of course. Yes. Backdoor Gary's for hey, deleted scenes. Thanks for the raid, man.
Hey,
how you doing, buddy?
Scenes.
Love you.
Yeah. Appreciate the additional faces. So yeah, welcome deleted scenes listeners. Love having you guys here. A raid is a raid. Oh, dude. And what is with that freaking spiky helmet? That is so awesomely like dangerous, but so cool. And once again, if that came out today, there'd be that's still unrealistic. I'm like, bro, who cares? It's a comic book movie.
I'm always
Doesn't
impressed.
need to be realistic.
I'm always impressed by the amount of time and effort they take here, rather than just killing him immediately in front of everybody earlier on. They go to all this trouble. Yeah,
no,
and they even let him see his girlfriend. You know?
I've heard those arguments, and I guess you could make a good argument about that. But for me, I see it from the perspective of this is the mindset of villains. Sometimes some villains about straight going for the kill, but there's some villains who are really obsessed with their own.
They like
egos.
the ceremony. They like protocol and ceremony.
They feel like that they're buttering up the heroes so they could kind of like, figuratively spit in their face and hey, look at what I'm accomplishing, look at what I'm doing. You just gotta sit back there and watch. So they feel like they're getting back to their enemy, aka the hero, by having them watch without having them being able to physically do anything. So rather than
the
just
ceremony
killing
of
them.
the execution, Soul Assassin says that helmet
both
is straight power metal. He's right,
dude. Yeah.
Is that right?
You
Even
can't
some of the
headbang
costumes-
with it because you'll kill someone, but it's fun to imagine. Oh, Dude, a 4K of Flash Gordon? Ooh. Is there one? I've never looked into this.
There is.
Dude,
There's a
this
big
should be-
collector's edition. Yeah.
Oh.
I've not got that one. I've got the I've got a slightly lesser one, although it did have a nice poster and booklet with it. But
yeah,
I think Ming secretly had the Tom would know. I think Ming secretly had like feelings for Flash though, because why did he have him
that
stripped
one.
down to his shorts?
That's the one I've got. But it's
Ooh,
not as
here,
good as
Megan.
there's a full-on collector's 4K
Dude, look at that
one.
color, that cover though. That is.
And it came with a poster which is up on the wall. It's not a bad set, but it's not as good as the 4K. I don't think. And then it's got a booklet too. But,
it's a book.
A book. It says a book.
A booklet.
I want the 4K, but
it's a booklet.
I rented it and it was in standard def.
It's 2-disc edition. But,
Now this was
nice edition.
Mad let me know that this was his favorite picture in the movie.
Of course it is. I can't even imagine why. Go ahead and show that off again.
It's got the postcards.
Mad
I got to use my other arm. I've got
nice
fucked up shoulder. But,
I love that scene.
Yeah, there's a lot of postcards with it. It's quite nice. Yeah.
You do realize
on
that
the back you get stuff like this, of course.
That's why you love buying these special editions. Buy physical.
Yeah. I want to get the 4K because this is one of my favorite movies of all time. So,
dude,
I was looking. I'm organizing my DVD collection again. I'm like, oh crap! I bought Blues Brothers in 4K and Ghostbusters in 4K twice. I'm like, gonna have all these duplicate movies.
I keep doing that,
mate. Twice.
Yeah.
I'm like, damn it! I gotta make a list.
How many
I'll
copies?
just give them away.
Anyway, this is not a bad set, but this was just the older.
No, 70s. You have a nice set.
The older Blu-ray one. The 4K is impressive.
I just realized how gay that sounded. I swear that was not meant to sound that way.
So Nick, I must agree with
his Blu-ray movie. Oh,
Mr. Nick, I must agree with you. Brian's a fine specimen. He does not have walleye tits. When he lays down, they point straight up.
Yes, he should.
Oh, damn. Anyways, let's get back on with the slide.
Get back to the movie. What movie?
Look at that set, though. Isn't that a beautiful
Dude.
set? So
I would
impressive.
feel like I'm in another world. If I got to be on the set of that, I would probably just like fall on the floor, just plop my body back. Look at this cool ass set. This is a wonder. Like it makes you once again how far we've fallen. That nowadays you're in a green screen room studio, and everything is not there. But you look at this, it just feels like you're entering another world. That's what I love about this. It's not just that it's real, but it makes you feel like you entered another like dimension per se, even though they technically kind of are because they're in space.
Masters of the Universe and the Bond movies, all the sets really make it. The physical, the big physical sets.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Matt just DM'd me. He said, please stop here for a few minutes.
Oh, Handy Randy would tell you to do that. Oh, of course, Handy Randy did. Oh, that Handy.
Look at that
You are a very fine specimen. You, Sam J. Jones. Let me take a look here. She's totally not up to something. Just saying. Totally not up to something. Getting him.
She's a her. She's a who.
Princess dress change drink.
She's got such a sexy voice as well.
I love her. Or what is her name? Muti?
Oh,
or
yeah, of course
Muti.
you were trying to marry her, Clytus. What's your deal, man? You should have.
You would spackle your baby batter all over that vaginal wall. Don't lie.
That's one way of putting it, I guess.
Term in my life. Speckle your baby batter.
Romance isn't dead, is it?
No, bromance is not that. We just did our Sunday show on Midnight's Edge up the shit list for top romances. Which, by the way, while I have a lot of you here, Sunday night there will be no Midnight's Edge After Dark shit list show. However, good old Nick Weiser is going to fill up Tom's void, and we're going to do something ourselves. We're going to do the top 5 most toxic movies, and that'll be fun. I'll be a little bit slimmer, a little bit more stripped down. Probably just like 4 or 5 dudes, but we're going to have fun with it. I already got my list sorted out. We'll probably won't do the same format, but we'll have all the dudes share their thoughts on what they find the most top 5 toxic movies. Once again, it'll be in the same spot where the shit list would be, except it'll be my list instead of the shit list. So yes, Sunday night, guys, remember them. How many times have people paused at scene? You can blame Mad Mardigan. He's had a very inadvertent role in having influence on the show, and we need to tell Mad that he can't be so influential at the show because he's taking up the space with his weird thoughts, his handy randy thoughts.
You guys aren't gonna start sucking each other's dicks, are you?
Dude.
And there's too many women for Mad to be on this panel tonight too, so it wouldn't have worked out so well.
But he had to love that there was only like technically, I mean, granted this is a flashback, but outside of it, there's probably like 5 women in the entire movie. The rest of it's all dudes.
Like, have 3 ladies: Kala, Princess Aura, and Dale.
I mean, yeah, there's probably a cameo from the R's when they're going to the room to give each other the drink, but that's about it. It's pretty much it's a dude's movie, top to bottom. I mean, that's why, I'm glad I was able to get another wave of an audience with Ted when Ted hit in 2012 or 14. I can't remember when the first Ted came out. It was 2012 or 2014, one of those years. Well, I was was it 2012?
2012.
I remember when I came out, and then because I initially was interested in Ted, I had heard that it was good. Then I kind of word got out that Flash Gordon was in. I'm like, what? Flash Gordon's in Ted? Okay, I mean that I'm sold, and that was cool to see Sam Jones reprise the role. And I was like, hell yeah.
Just thinking, sorry, Nick, I was just thinking they took him back to being a fetus there. I'm glad they didn't go further back to the conception.
Yeah, I was waiting for that.
Dude, I actually thought that. I'm so glad that's where it stopped. I'm so glad that's where they drew the line.
That's right. I think that's enough.
Like, okay, no. But
they did go pretty far, though.
They did.
Yeah, so did she. Man, she was trying to basically be the Poison Ivy of this movie. That's what I got of her. So I was like, okay, so Aura's Poison Ivy of this movie. She's trying to be the one that's is trying to be the seductress of this, and he's got to basically not cave into her that way Batman sometimes does Poison Ivy. That's what I got of her, and she does have that side to her like Ivy as well. Good bad, good cop, bad cop.
She's a real volatile mixture. Flash is having a lot of trouble finding the landing spot here.
The thing that's interesting is he falls in love with the the girl in the beginning. Obviously falls in love with Dale right away, but he's like not tied, but like he's showing a lot of willpower here, I guess. Plus he knows he can't trust her, but it's almost like he's instantly with Dale, even though they've only met for a half hour on that plane, and
that's very very movie, very Hollywoody. Yeah, but then it's
instant romance.
Instant romance.
Of course, when I met my much better half, I kind of knew I was in trouble the night I met her. So, in a good way. But there is that too, I guess. But
most people do, but not. Most people don't meet them and then meet Princess Aura in the same night.
Yes, I know. I would have not. I would have stuck with my, Look at the outfits in this. I mean, the costumes. People say they're campy, but I mean, they're gorgeous. I mean,
she's off the hook. I met Melanie Dale, she's a sweetheart, lovely lady,
Oh,
beautiful lady.
did you?
Yes, but absolute doll. But this lady right here, I mean, but for Ornella Beauty, I mean, Jesus Christ, dude.
No, but people, yeah, she's amazing. But people, you know, oh, it's campy. I'm like, no, this is gorgeous. This is great costume design, especially if you're a comic book fan.
All right, I'm gonna, and that's why I want to push back on the one, not to you, but to anyone who goes with the campy stuff. You don't like comic books for what they are. You don't like comic book movies for what they are. If you say the look is campy, the whole gist is you're supposed to have fun with these stories with the ridiculousness of the suits, all the fun, and
it's trying to look like the comic strip.
Yeah, and that is called being faithful to this thing. That should be the standard. Like, and I rather have it be like that. I want my comics and all the stuff to look like that. That's how it should. This should be, you know, the gold standard for how you strive for a comic book movie. I want the non-muted colors. I want the suits to shine. I want it to be all about the comic bookiness. When a lot of people brag about their favorite comic book movies basically being the least comic book, it just tells you don't really appreciate the genre for what it is. You're just telling me you're appreciating non-appreciating it. So that's what I'm getting at there. Hey, what's up, Chernobyl? This man got his Dolph Lundgren package in the mail, and he got a huge package of Conan comics with his. The first arc of the current run on Titan Comics with Roberto De La Torre's art on it. So hopefully you are enjoying that, sir. And I hope you're enjoying your Dolph Lundgren package. Nice to see you here, sir.
Awesome.
It says Nick is covered by his logo. Yeah, I did on purpose. No one needs to see my mug. Everyone can admire the slideshow and everyone else's avatar. So I did do that on purpose. No one needs to see me. That's all.
Well, you're quite a handsome guy, though, Nick.
Just quite a handsome guy, though. Not a very handsome guy.
Just that's just crazy talk.
Quite handsome.
Oh yeah.
You have the most medium dick I've ever seen in a man.
Mediocre. 3 inches is good size, guys. 3 inches is a good size.
Yeah, but wide 3 inches wide.
No, 2 7/8. Get it right. 2 7/8. Okay.
Hey, I always round up for my friends.
Yeah, well, I don't like when you're in it. I like brutally honest.
Oh my God, this girl's really turning me on.
I didn't quite get that. Think it again. I'm locked in Ming's bedroom.
Fake him out.
How?
Girls know how, Dale. It's been done to me. Lying bitch.
This movie should be cut to quite a bit. There should be plenty of clips from this movie.
K. Roberts, I do get a lot of Buck Rogers vibes in it. I don't know who came first. Maybe Kalabby can
Buck Rogers
find that. Buck Rogers came first.
Way before, yeah.
Okay. Do you think Flash Gordon definitely took some Buck Rogers influence?
Oh yeah, it was created purposefully to cash in on Buck Rogers. Buck Rogers started in a couple of pulps that later they put in book form. Then they did strips, and it was very popular. It was doing very well. And in 1934, King Features decided they wanted a comic strip to compete with it, but I think it was the Dick Calkins strip at the time before doing the art on the Buck Rogers one, and so they tried to get the rights to do a comic strip of Edgar Rice Burroughs, John Carter. They couldn't. They wanted something similar, and a writer. Oh, okay, I can remember the writer's name, but one of the writers got with Alex Raymond. And they tried to put something together that didn't quite work out. Raymond took it himself, and he created Flash Gordon, which is actually more similar to John Carter and Buck. It's almost like similar to both, almost like some sort of a hybrid too. And yes, so it was as with many times in comics history, as you well know, a lot of characters are derivative of others in various ways. So yeah.
Okay. No, thank you for that. Yeah. No, it makes a lot of sense because I definitely picked up on some of the influence. I'm like, okay, this had to have been influenced by that, but now that confirms that. Cavatino, to answer your question, let's just say 70s paid the price of what happens when you cheat on lefty with righty.
Too much fapping.
You reap what you sow, or you reap what you fap. In this case,
I fucked up my shoulder, but the scan report said words like ruptured, torn, and degenerative. So it's not
the
good.
Kennett rule. Always go with 3 points. Oh man. No, I look at, so we got space part here, we got Earth part here. This is like the Tarzan part of the movie. I call this part the Tarzan, even though it's got this whole platform here. This felt a little Tarzan-y, but I love it.
Yeah.
I love it.
It's
'Cause
Tarzan
even when they're in the jungle.
Tarzan meets Robin Hood.
Oh yeah, I can see.
Right, see this guy that's going to get this kid here,
Mm-hmm.
Peter Duncan. He was a presenter on a major British TV show, kids show called Blue Peter, which was on for decades.
Oh yeah.
He was a Blue Peter presenter. I think after he did this though, but this is his main claim to fame. Other than that,
Yeah, he said he met Timothy Dalton in a store, and he's like, "You killed me in Flash Gordon." I just walked away. I didn't like say much to him.
I died because of you. You bloody bastards.
I think a few of the actors besides Timothy Dalton have gone on to become actors in Bond movies, because obviously you had Timothy Dalton who became Bond, and I think was it Max von Sydow was in one of the Bond movies too. Sorry, Sydow. I think he was in a Bond one. Maybe I'm wrong, or am I mistaken for someone else who was in a Bond movie?
And Richard O'Brien's his sidekick there in that scene. Timothy Dalton's sidekick, Richard O'Brien.
I'm mistaking for Topol, because he was there for Your Eyes Only. For Your Eyes
Fiddler
Only.
on the Roof.
Yeah.
If I were a rich man.
So we're just he's a Bond casting, man.
Yeah,
I
Richard
love it.
O'Brien of Rocky Horror.
If you want, I have 13 actors from the James Bond movies that appeared within this movie.
Oh, yeah.
Max von Sydow is Blofeld and Never Say Never Again.
True.
Topol was Milos Colombo from For Your Eyes Only. Timothy Dalton was in The Living Daylights and License to Kill.
Yep.
Anthony Bradford was 009 and Octopussy.
Oh, huge cast.
Robbie Coltrane was
Coltrane.
Valentin.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he was Valentin Zukovsky in The World Is Not Enough.
Stand by
Wasn't he
your
in
man.
2 of the Brosnan films?
He was 2. He was in 2. Yeah.
Philip Stone was Spectre number 5 in Thunderball. Burnell Tucker, he was a Hawaii control room technician in You Only Live Twice. John Hollis was Blofeld in For Your Eyes Only, 1981, and Fred in Casino Royale, 1967.
Nice.
Bogdan Kamanowski is Klotkov in A View to a Kill. Peter Brace was the cowboy in Casino Royale, 1967, and did stunt in many of the films. Leslie Crawford was a waiter on Her Majesty's Secret Service, and she did stunts in several movies too. Terry Richards was Carver's thug in Tomorrow Never Dies, a Scottish strongman in Casino Royale from 1967, and did stunts in between several of those films.
That's a lot of Casino Royale, though. I mean, that one's borderline.
Jeez,
borderline Bond.
But these people had extra roles in other Bond movies. They mentioned Casino Royale. This is IMDb. It's not. And Eddie Powell was the man in Casino and Casino Royale, and also did stunts in 4 other movies for the franchise. 13 actors. Amazing.
Wow. See, I already know it's like 3 or 4, but man, you just went through a freaking wow.
And if we just go for stunts, if we add in the stunts, not the acting parts, but stunts, there's going to bring that up to 20 members, because you have John Gallant, Chris Webb, Roy Scammell, Terry Forrestal, Mike Potter, Eddie Stacy, Graham Crowther. Those 7 men did stunts exclusively for the franchise. Amazing 20 members with the links to Flash Gordon.
Wow. I feel educated. Thank you for that. I appreciate your knowledge, Clytus. You have now 2 shows, brought us full voiceovers, and this one you dropped in some knowledge bombs. I love it. Love it.
I serve the greater good.
I'd say that's up for debate with what you did here to Princess Ara, because that shit's not cool, bro.
I think we need to see. We need to see
is-
what the boar worms do. I mean, what?
Yeah, what
I
are the
want-
boar worms? Does
I
anyone
want
know?
to see them in action.
Labyrinthines, do you know what they were? Are they in the comics?
Maybe they just sit there and tell her really long stories until she gets
bored
bored
to
and goes
death?
to sleep. Yeah.
When Klobby comes back, he's gonna have to let us know if that was in the comics or not, because I've
Or they
sadly have
had to
not
cut
read
it 'cause
any
it was so
Flash
scary?
Gordon
Well, there's
comics.
Richard O'Brien. Yeah.
I do know that apparently for Ming, Mr. Saito, he apparently had to add some pretty extensive breaks when he was on this movie, because apparently the suit he wore for character of Ming was like super duper heavy.
70 pounds.
Holy crap! I heard it was like I knew at least 50 pounds. But geez, 70 pounds.
70.
Man,
And so was Clayton's suit too, and he
I wonder
couldn't
how
even.
much-
His
Go
was
ahead.
like 50 or 60 pounds. They said he had trouble talking with that faceplate, so he had to study
Yeah.
ventriloquism to get his voice to come out. And he was so one of those lines where they say that I can't remember what part of the movie was, where they're like, "Oh, Flash goes, I can't breathe," and it was
Yeah.
almost like a nod to like how bad those costumes were and how his acting was fantastic in that. But he said he had a lot of
I
trouble.
can't breathe. Oh, be quiet, little Floyd.
Seriously though, no, but these suits, like that's once again, these actors persevered and they did it for not only less money, but for obviously the best movie possible. That was actual genuine, I guess you could say an actor's version of a sacrifice of what their body's going through so they could get the best product out of a movie, because that's how it should be. You do those things for the betterment of a movie, because they say, hey, listen, this is what the audience is paying for. Just do it. Yeah, it's probably going to be uncomfortable. Yeah, it's probably going to suck wearing. I don't doubt for one bit that I'm sure these dudes were probably losing weight and sweat. I don't doubt it one bit, but man, do we get better outfits and enjoyment out of the movie for it? Hell yeah, we did. Hell yeah, we did. I love it. And Ming's, God, I wonder if they did they had to tape those giant eyebrows on his head, because I remember thinking, oh, hey, okay, they got some Asian actor to play Ming. Then I learned out no, they didn't. It's just some white dude. They gave giant eyebrows that looked almost like Asian-ish for him. Because I'm like, I thought, did they like tape his? Did they use tape and they had his eyebrows taped like high up so they could stay up? Obviously, more so than Terry Crews. Oh, dude, if any two men sweated a lot in this movie, it was definitely Max who did, and Peter Wingard. They definitely sweated a lot, and they were probably as up there with Terry Crews. I guarantee it. Terry Crews' sweat in the Expendables was like sweat on another level. I feel like those two dudes may have come close to it. The thing was, Terry's a natural sweater. He just when you look at him, he sweats.
Are you trying to say he hasn't trained his sweat like that? I mean, surely he's a professional. He's trained that sweat.
Yeah, Terry Crews has trained his sweat to sweat. These guys needed to get in hot, sweaty outfits.
It's method sweating.
Method sweating. Oh my god! Oh, that was you really just killed that dude up.
Not even Marlon Brando mastered that. And he tried.
Method sweating. He's a natural sweater. Oh man,
He's
this
so
is one of my
sweaty.
favorite scenes in the entire movie. The handoff. This is something Handy Randy would be afraid of. Where's Handy Randy? Where are you? Don't be a coward, Handy. You're all about the hands. Where are you? Why aren't you showing yourself? These guys are sacrificing their own hands, and yet you're out here not even showing yourself in the chat, Handy Randy.
Maybe he just can't take the drama of the scene. I mean, this is pretty tough for Handy Randy right here.
Oh, so now we know where Handy Randy draws the line. He can't even handle putting his hand in the hole. Well, that sucks to suck for even Handy Randy. Well, he's never going to hear the end of it from me from that one. Straight up. Terry Crews eats a lot of sugar, so his sweat is 80% alcohol.
Y'all ain't right.
No, we definitely aren't, but that's why we're all here. We all fit in for this show. You find Toxic Tuesday. Talk about we were asking Clobby. Are some of these characters in this jungle era, are these characters part of the comics, do you know, or was this done for the movie?
What Arborea is and Prince Baron is, of course. He looks quite different in the early strips, of course. But he and Voltan are both from the comics, if that's what you mean.
Yeah. That's why I'm just trying to figure this. Because we were asking a question. I think one of the other guys had a question while you were gone. Which one of you guys had a question for Clobby about something else for the comics? Or did we already lose our memory late at night?
The boar worm.
The boar worm.
I've always wondered about the pronunciation of what that was. Is it B-O or R-E? B-O-A-R? B-O-A?
I always thought it was B-O-R-E.
I mean, what? Yeah, I don't know what they did that were made up for the movie. I mean, I've never heard anything about. I mean, it could have been in a strip at some point. I read that. I just don't think of it at the moment. But I don't know. We'll never know.
He used the worms on her. Wonder what
He
they
did.
were. Right? Did she have to watch Star Trek Discovery over and over and over, or was it?
Those would have been the bad worms. The strangled dude worms, for that matter. No, but yeah, I don't know. Better watch Echo or something. They bore you so much. You're like, please just kill me. So I've always wondered myself. It's not that I'm saying that I know that for a fact, because I don't ever remember reading in any strips or anything like that. Doesn't mean it's not there, but it's pretty obscure. I think Lorenzo Simple just made it up.
Yeah, well, maybe it's like a CD worm.
But wasn't there boar worms in Star Trek as well?
Well, they had Ceti Alpha Eel had these creatures. They never had names.
Okay.
Well, Enterprise had boar worms, I thought.
Of course. But it was Regulan bloodworms in Star Trek, if that's what you mean.
But in Enterprise, they had boar worms, didn't they?
It was in Enterprise.
Trek Enterprise.
It was in Enterprise, yeah.
What they called what they didn't have, like regular bloodworms or something.
No, they called them boar worms. Yeah.
Boar worms.
Yeah.
So they bore into people.
Yeah, they go into your ears,
Right.
kind of like yeah. So
well, she did. Her actual word was "put the boar worms on me." So I don't know.
They go into your ear and sing "Don't Stop Believing" all day and all night until you're driven insane.
Who could
words
be so cool?
that make you watch Madam? You guys.
Who could be so cruel?
Dude, I love this fight. You want to talk about a way to like
This
raise
is cool.
suspense of a fight? Like you have Sam Jones versus Timothy Dalton, and not only do you get the board shaking, but you bring out the spikes, bro. Oh, and then the whips too. I mean, I guess the guys needed something to feel a little something that they get how them bothered about. But for me, I was just like, bro, the spikes. Holy crap, that is some
the
brutal
spikes were
shit,
my
man.
idea. The spikes, I said, here, have some little pricks.
See, I thought you needed a show to get a little turned on to. That's why you provided the whips. That's what I thought you were trying to do, Clash. You wanted something to feel a little hot about, and they thought I provide these two men with whips.
I just watched actually the GIMP show between the Hawkman people, and I watched their feed from their houses, and I just watched the bird people paint, and it's what I do. Yes.
So you needed a fix. You got sick of the birdmen whipping each other, so you needed to see two straight-laced men whip each other.
Yes, and that mustache that little Dalton has, that mustache is cute.
All right. I gotta show off something really quickly. Good listener, great listener of our channel, Mr. Claude Parrish. I feel like he deserves to be acknowledged and shown for this. I'm
let's take the overlay off,
dude.
No.
But
Wow, Claude.
Nice. Minimus.
That man's got talent.
I know. I didn't know he was a drawer, but Claude, this is amazing. Thank you for drawing this.
He's been on
I love that
artist
there's a
X.
pineapple in my hand. That means I could crush it too. That's perfect. Oh,
He is an excellent
nailed
artist. He's been an artist for a long time. Yeah. He's so
dude, I absolutely love this. Thank you, Claude. This wows me. I'm like, whoa.
When'd you get that? When did you send that?
I gotta look at when he sent it. Let me bring back up the screen. But he sent this earlier, not about less than an hour ago.
Well, the event. If he's not listening now, I will definitely tell him that you enjoyed it.
No, he responded.
Did he?
Oh, he did respond. I asked him if I could share it for Toxic Tuesday, and he said,
Okay.
"Do whatever you want with it." But he said the pineapple was for my pizza. I said, "Well, I'm gonna crush that pineapple because you put it in my hand like it's positioned for me to crush." Because like where they say like I'm gonna crush my enemies, and like usually a villain has like their fists in the air. He gave me that position with my hand so I can crush it. So that's what I'm gonna get out of it. But thank you, Claude.
You are a good-looking guy, and I'm a good-looking guy. You are? I am.
Very good looking guy, Nick. Eh?
Oh, that's redonkulous. Don't you even. Me a great. Nah, dude, I don't got those eyebrows that Ming has. I'm not one of those guys.
And this scene is just so good here. I mean, watching the documentary, some guys were saying, "Oh, as kids, we used to like pretend we were on, Flash fighting here on the ring or whatever," and just this is like pure comic book gladiators. And look at Brian Blessed there and that get up. Yeah.
If only they would have been barefoot, that would have been perfect. A perfect fight. Two barefoot men filmed from above.
And the spikes actually.
Clytus?
I like feet.
And the spikes are actually inflatable, so they're because they're worried about hurting the actors. So it's all, and they had a couple of like when they hang on to them, but yeah, so they're all inflatable, spikes there, so they don't get hurt or killed if they fall on them.
Yeah,
no commitment to their
Makes
craft.
It still sells. It still sold me. Oh, go ahead, Clobby.
No, go ahead.
I was gonna say it still sells me on the suspense factor, even with the rubber spikes. I was still sold on the suspense, even still when I watch this to this day, because this is like, holy crap! Like this thing moves up and down, and there's spikes. Like that's intense, man. Holy crap! And these guys are fine just to basically be the one that leads the team, basically. Over this,
You should have this at Disney World as an e-ticket.
They replaced Splash Mountain with this ride.
Your kids are annoying you too much. You're on the Flash Gordon ride. Kids annoying you?
Oh man, no, but it's a damn good fight. I love it though, and it's great because Flash could have easily pulled the Mortal Kombat fatality of finishing him off. And he brings him right aboard and says, "Hey, bro, we got to get together and we got to win this."
What would they call this? Right?
All the guys have been a skeptic of Flash, saying, we're long gone. We just got to accept this. It is what it is. But it's at this moment where the tide starts to shift a little bit. Like, you know what? Hey, maybe we should work together and take down Ming and his cronies. Maybe we should do this because it's the first moment of that where the seed starts to be like, okay, maybe, because there's still some skeptics on the team, but at least someone is convinced. It's nice to see the turnaround start to shift.
So what would they call this ride? Baron's boner? Flash's phallus?
Oh, Flash's phallus. Oh my God. That is really gay. It's really gay. Just saying. Oh, yeah. No, He's gonna lose his edge here. He's gonna lose his edge. No. So, chat, just so you know, after this movie, we're gonna have a poll up on the community post, and we're gonna pick 2 Burt Reynolds movies, and we'll run it for about 48 hours. And we want you all to cast your vote on which Burt Reynolds movie between the 2 that we choose we want to do for next week's Toxic Tuesday.
You can only choose from 2.
Well, we're picking 2.
All right, okay.
And we're gonna pick 2, and the chat will do their votes. And we promise there'll be no 3 a.m. bell dumps. We promise that your vote will count. And we're gonna choose once you have after 48 hours after it goes up. We'll decide that will be our Toxic Tuesday for next Tuesday.
As Nick the Greek says, Sterling Archer would just say do both White Lightning and Gator.
Oh man. The Burt Reynolds special edition where he goes several hours. Oh boy. Man.
Although he often confused the 2 movies in terms of which scenes were in which. But...
Yeah, I see people are already throwing in suggestions. Yeah, guys. Well, yeah,
White Lightning. Do White Lightning. That's the best.
Yeah, but do you think it fits the... Do you feel like it's the one that fits the show the most? How do you feel in that 70s?
I think they both fit the show. Both of them do.
Okay. Well,
the Hooper myself.
It gets a bit uncomfortable.
Hooper was really tough.
You are throwing out picks like crazy.
If you're doing Deliverance, Gary has to be on the show.
Oh, Deliverance, yeah. I mean.
Gary must be on the show if we're doing Deliverance.
Well, it looks like those guys agree with Gary. They all look like outfits. These guys all look like they have outfits that Gary handpicked for them.
Mad Martigan loves these outfits.
Well, they look like they didn't go to Victoria's Secret. They went to Gary's Secret, and they picked out those outfits at Gary's Secret. Okay, except this place is not so much a secret. This is what Gary's out in the open about.
Have you done Smokey and the Bandit yet?
We have not.
Oh my God, that's going to be number 1.
Yeah, that's my pick.
See, maybe we'll do that to a vote. Smokey and the Bandit versus Deliverance, and we'll do on the community post after the show. So the market will decide, and I'm sure whatever
longest yards, right?
Yeah. Whatever loses, I'm sure we'll cover down the line. But this is simply just to vote for next week. Simply put. So your loser will be a winner. It just won't have the coveted spot of being touched sooner. Touched sooner. Anyways, let's get spiky
Seems
with
like
it.
a touch
dude.
too much to me.
Touch too much.
Seems like
what do you know about a touch too much?
Touch too much.
You have the right to be dead.
If you give up the right to read dead, I don't know what else happens after that.
The line makes about as much sense as hey Killian, here is Sub-Zero, now Plane Zero. The lines that sound good as a one-liner, but you don't think about them after. You let the line be the line. If you think about
that's a good one-liner. That's a good one-liner.
No, it's a great one-line, but it's one of those ones you definitely don't try and make sense of.
Right there. Go back one. He almost had Amy Schumer face.
Oh,
that's mean.
Amy
Nobody
Schumer
deserves Amy Schumer face.
You don't want Amy Schumer face. That sounds nasty. That sounds like a sex move.
Shoving that prick right in his face.
The Amy Schumer face sounds like a sex move that you don't want.
It's like a rusty trombone.
Seriously, like Amy Schumer face sounds about as name of a sex move as the Randy Johnson. They both sound very displeasing. No one wants Amy Schumer face. No one wants a Randy Johnson. So
nobody wants a handy Randy either, but
ooh, they're holding hands together.
Bannon should just have thrown him off the side now.
Maybe this was secretly the relationship the entire time. These dudes fought each other so much that they realized it was love all along. I hate you so much that
At
I
least
love
Barrett,
you.
at least Barrett isn't yellow like he was in the original comic strips.
Wow, he was yellow, really?
Yeah.
I actually like
You
the
mean
green
you
outfit.
mean he was a coward, or he was actually colored yellow?
Colored yellow.
Okay.
I like the green outfit. It kind of gives him a Robin Hood look.
Yeah,
I always got the Robin Hood look out of him. Man, I see all this talks of white light. Maybe we should just do a Burt Reynolds month. Maybe in April.
Oh, there's so
we should
many
just do a
good ones.
month of Burt Reynolds. Maybe
many.
should we just do a Burt Reynolds month instead of a poll chat? Let me know how you feel. Should we just do a whole month of Burt Reynolds?
I've never watched Deliverance. I kind of want to watch that if we're going to do a month.
I know, right? Maybe
watch that as a group.
You just can't watch the TV version like my mother-in-law. She's like, I love Deliverance. It's my favorite movie. Have you seen it in the theater? She's like, I've only seen it on TV.
Did you think it was a musical?
Well, I don't think. I think they clip
the
squeal like a pig. Guess how many times that's going to get clipped.
You got to put Gary in there
All
somewhere.
right.
Gerry.
The people responding. Yep. Yes. Okay. I guess. All right. Fuck it. April will be Burt Reynolds month.
We should do.
All right, there you go,
month.
chat.
Yeah.
You have been heard. April it is.
Because we
Son
got
of
to
a
do.
bitch.
We can't miss White Lightning. We got to do that.
All right. Well, we'll do White Lightning and Deliverance,
And then
Smokey
two
and the
others.
Bandit. That's 3 out of 4 holes filled. What should we fill the last hole with? And before we talk about this great scene
Possibly
here with
the-
the eyes splurging.
I mean, the longest yard would be a good representation of Burt. I mean, I know it's the obvious choice, but
We should do
There's-
Malone.
those are Hooper, Sharky's Machine.
Hooper
We
was
should do
great.
Mal-
Yeah.
Hooper, yeah.
Oh, where is it? Oh, I got the wrong con here. Piochet's helicopter tours, $5 says, we all know it has to be Deliverance and Smokey. Now sing after me. Ned Beatty had the hardest partied to a tree.
He had the hardest part.
And Bruce Lombardo gifted a membership and went to
Awesome.
Juggalo Hancock. Well, thank you for gifting it, Bruce. I mean, you're on the show here, and you helped Juggalo.
You're giving a full month to Burt Reynolds. How could we not appreciate this?
Oh well, you're part of the show. We just love when you give your pleasures to the show.
And Flash is getting his pants back on there. What was he? What were his pants? Oh, that was going from the shorts to the pants. I'm trying to remember.
He was unleashing something
Huge.
That's what he was doing.
Ah,
yes, yeah.
You're awesome.
Thank you, Piochet, and thank you, Bruce. We keep the show long, hard, and strong because of gentlemen like you. It's Ming. We must stop him. I love this shot right here. It looks like something that I would see in like either like a really badass comic, like a panel for like a splash, or maybe like it feels like a gatefold like vinyl cover, and you show the front and back side. That's what these shots look like. They look like something you'd see for the wraparound, or in our case, the reach around cover.
That's a good one. You've invented something.
Reacher?
Yeah.
Well,
The reach around.
wraparound cover and reach around cover.
If
On
he
top-
pays for drinks, is that a reach around?
Oh,
Drinks for everybody.
oh, you're making me want to drink now. Seriously. Oh, damn. All the young chicks at Talways. Dude, yeah, Ming was an evil son of a bitch, but really good villain. Even though his plot was really simple, he just pretty much just wants to destroy Earth and rule everything. It's very Saturday morning cartoon comic book villain, but I love his performance, so that's why I still find him a very effective villain.
He could be the head of the WEF.
Oh, he kind of already was.
This is what they talk like.
Wanted everyone killed, who questioned him.
This is how they talk.
He wanted surveillance over everyone at all times. Yeah, I mean,
He'll be satisfied with less.
Yeah. You take what you have and you are happy with it. Yeah, he very much is a Klaus Schwab albeit with a cooler looking outfit.
Much cooler, yes.
Yeah, much cooler. Klaus Schwab's suit is straight up creepy Bond villain to the max. Straight up. Like, I look at his, I don't even look at it, so oh, it's a cool looking villain. I'm like, that dude looks just like pure fucking evil. And when I look at Klaus Schwab, but dude, oh, one of the great shots is when he hops on that thing and he escapes, and all the cool colors he sees along the way as he goes to get back up. Oh, I love the shots. And of course, there's the one of the scenes in Ted where Mark Wahlberg hops alongside him. Oh, such a fun moment in Ted. And I was like, oh shit, I remember. Dude, look at that purple. Even though it's an explosion, you make explosions look very amazing just with the color of purple right here. I love seeing that shot right there. It's like, wow, who would have thought even an explosion could look kind of beautiful, just kind of beautiful. And then you dudes died, all of you. Dead. I know, but
all
dude,
dead, all dead.
I don't want you to die. I need you to come with me to survive for the next half hour, 40 minutes of this. But I love seeing. Let's admire this background piece really quickly. I'm gonna take
this. Beautiful looking movie. It looks great.
Hold up. Hold up.
Go back. Yep. Right there.
No. I did it wrong. No. Fuck. I'm trying to take.
Oh no.
I'm sorry, guys. How do I?
What are you trying to do?
There it is.
The background, yeah.
This art right here. This is what I mean, because we've had in the background for a while now.
That's fantastic,
dude. That deserves a. I'm having blonde moments here, but there we go.
He looks like Anton LaVey.
Thomas Bowman said this film has gay explosion.
Kaboom!
So what you're trying to say, Thomas Bowman, is that even their explosions are very inclusive. So when they're done, like, but at least our explosions were inclusive.
That was one of the postcards.
I love explosion that had just happened. Oh, look at that postcard.
Well, why? Well, you gotta keep your explosions contained, Clytus. It's a little dirty of you.
I love the practical effects of this movie. This movie has so many wonderful practical effects shots. I think this is probably a high watermark of cinema if it had not been for Lucasfilm and John Dykstra.
This is why, even though you could see that there's some parts that are obviously miniatures or some wire work, that once again, as we've said many times, show you can forgive that when you are immersed in the story and the performance. And once again, the visuals and the color and the suits and the sets, everything else makes up for the things that are more obvious.
But I think the obvious things are there because they're meant to be obvious. I mean, it's a retro look to it. You know?
Oh yeah, that's a good point. 70s, yeah,
they're meant to be like that. They're not there because they didn't do it right. It's because they wanted it to look like that. That's nice.
This is a false Hydra. False Hydra. It's a new thing for Dungeons and Dragons. Fucking nightmare fuel if you read about it. But yes, I finally glossed it. It's varnished and it's ready for battle mat time. Thank you.
Like our effects, bigots.
Looks like Gary's intestines.
That's what happens when you eat too much pineapple pizza.
That's right.
Well,
who would do such a thing?
Nick Nominal tells me you have a very gooey thing there, so that's cool. Do you agree with him that it's gooey?
He drinks a power potion before making love, so he takes the blue pill basically.
Good night.
Good night, 11 Alpha. Thanks for being here, man. You're here for an hour and a half of your time. That's more than enough, dude. Appreciate it. I thought
Gordon's alive.
I thought
yes.
Alley show. Oh,
and Gordon.
Only an hour and 39
Which
minutes
hand though?
late. Handy Randy shows his ugly hand saying Han Gordon, Gloss Farms.
Lying bitch.
Yeah, you're late, Handy. You're very late. You should be ashamed of yourself.
Oh my God, this girl's really turning me on.
I didn't quite get that. Think it again.
Oh, we gotta play this one since Handy Randy's here.
I'll come. If you rock it there right away.
That time, I heard you coming.
Lying bitch.
You have the biggest dick I've ever seen on a man.
Lying bitch.
No. There's no. You were never late. You're Randy Wayman. No, you are here or you're not here, and you were an hour and 39 minutes late. All right, I'm gonna backhand your hand. All right, and yes, you can backhand a hand. I will prove it, Handy.
Ouch. Backhanded compliment.
It can be late if it's all calloused and rough.
Sounds really gay. Just saying. But anyways,
I mean, close your eyes and you know.
I mean,
Jonathan Conroy, if you like this movie being discussed, please subscribe.
The thing is, this movie had all the homoeroticism. What you didn't need all this. You
need some nudity. Nudity would, you know. I agree. I mean, what was this movie rated?
Well, that's Flesh Gordon and
PG. Flesh Gordon barely had any nudity in it.
this was just a PG, I think.
And Gordon.
It was a family film. Yeah.
Yeah.
Family film.
Well, Clash of the Titans managed nudity in 2 scenes.
Amazing.
By accident.
I remember.
It's a family film like Deliverance.
Yeah.
No, this was a family film.
Okay, so I've seen Smokey. I've seen Longest Yard. I haven't seen White Lightning. I think it's been a bloody long time since I've seen Deliverance.
Yeah, all those are worthy.
What about Boogie Nights? It was a good role for him.
Ugh.
Yeah, it's a good role for him, but is it his movie? You should stick to his movies.
I mean, you know whose movie it is. The prosthetics movie.
It's
That's
the
his movie,
penis's movie.
Yeah.
That's a Handy Randy movie.
Oh man, you're making this panel feel very Randy saying that off. Brandon, look at Dolph Lundgren's Cobra. Well, that's the beauty of Showdown Little Tokyo. It said, how can we distribute an action movie more than a horror movie can? And they did. They straight up did. It freaking worked. And that's why that scene has become immortalized on Toxic Tuesday. That is why. Anyways, we got great explosions. The wedding is about to happen. Ming thinks he's going to get married. And they handle it pretty much just like how the news and dictators would handle it today. There's nothing to see here. Everything's fine. Just go on about your business. They're trying to pretend like, oh, they have nothing to worry about. And little do they are trying to admit, and they're trying to cover up that Flash and the guys, they're about to come. And they're going to freaking destroy their building, and they're going to take it all back. And it's glorious because they basically just get Ming in nearly one shot as he gets stabbed really good. But seeing all the fights happen along the way, such fun. And seeing all the smiles amongst all the Hawkmen, it's like, yeah, fight. Oh, and that's it? You guys got nothing?
It's the most impressive stabbing in 1980. I will say that much.
Well, it was just he had a big thing put through his stomach, and I was just like, oh, and I like how they have like a different type of colored blood on their play. Have you noticed that every time someone bleeds, it's not red, it's like a blue green thing?
Yeah, they mentioned in the documentary, and they're trying to say, well, that was a continuity error. It's like, no, we wanted the blood to be different colors. Yeah.
I actually like
I
that
think it's
because
cool.
it makes it feel like it makes it its own story, its own rules, its own universe. When people bleed, they bleed like this type of thing. So that I feel like that adds a nice, unique trait. And Eric K for $2 says, "My vote: Smoking the Bandit, Cannonball Run." Eric K providing that influence. He's paying his way for influence, guys. No. Big thing going out there said we should hang out. Oh, thank you, by the way, Eric K, for your $2. No, I sadly I did not. I was not able to catch that documentary piece, even though I was totally intending to, Mark. But is there anything you want to add from that we maybe it didn't cover earlier that we could miss from that documentary?
Well, there's a lot of great tidbits, or background, that goes into details. We mentioned the language barrier and trying to make it, not a campy movie, but just the cast and crew really seemed to love this movie. And there's a lot of interviews with, like Sean Gunn and Ray Park and different and Robert Rodriguez saying how they grew up with this movie, Mark Millar. And they just how it influenced them. Alex Ross is talking about this movie. They've got Brian May in it, so it's there's a shorter version on YouTube you can watch, but I would say watch the whole damn thing on YouTube. Oh, Stan Lee makes an appearance. Unfortunately, sorry, Clubber. Weingard is how do you say his last name, Peter?
I say Weingard. People say Wingard.
Weingard. I'm not sure. Yeah,
I see Weingard. Weingard.
His first award, Peter's first award, was actually he did a play. He did a 2-part play at an internment camp. The Japanese held him in an internment camp back in the 40s, and so he was performing. And because of his performance, he utilized a rabbit in his Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. The rabbit, unfortunately, was slated to be the internment camp captain's dinner, and therefore it caused him to have a 2-day in isolation, which is a reason for why he was going to make it big. I felt really good about this performance, even though I'm spending 48 hours with myself and only myself and not a whole lot of food. It feels like this is something I could probably do again, and maybe for money next time.
Okay.
Wow.
Okay. I want to mention
another one. Oh, I was going to say one other thing. Brian Blessed too. He said he met the Queen, and she asked him. She said that Flash Gordon was one of the favorite movies to watch with, I guess, the grandkids. It's like, can you say Gordon's alive for me? So in the documentary, he goes, "Gordon's alive."
Gordon's alive.
Alive. Like, I'm trying to find the clip from it in the documentary, but it was so damn good. It was
Nice.
it was awesome. So that was a lot.
He's
That
great.
was a lot of fun. But it's always fun for these. Yeah, he is amazing for these. Movies that you love, or just all the behind the scenes of how tough it was to get made, and the lead actor really has a redemption, I guess, in the movie, because he's like, God, I screwed up, and then he actually became a security guard, or not a security guard, but he ran a security firm for executives in Mexico who are traveling to and from, because he was a Marine. Of course, he says in the clip, they tell me once a Marine, always a Marine, but he said, I used my military background because he wasn't getting any work in the 80s. So his wife at the time said, you're not getting any work. The phone's not ringing. You got to do something else, or I'm out of here. So he set up a whole security firm. He said one of his first clients, it took a month before they figured out, like, I'm being guarded by Flash Gordon. But he's got a good one of, my things that my dad passed on to me. He says the same thing. He's cleaning the windshield or something. The guy's like, wow. He's like, you're doing going over the top with that. And he's like, well, my dad told me if you're going to do something right, or don't bother doing it at all. So he was, I guess, pretty successful. And now, of course, he's, with Ted, and he goes to a lot of conventions. Like, and I always want to spend times with, a lot of time with the fans, or as much as I can, because I always ask, where did you come from? He's like, some people said I drove 5 hours to meet you. So he doesn't want to take one for granted. So he's just really seems very down to earth now.
Stand up dude, he really is.
Yeah, versus early in his career, where it sounds like he kind of realizes he's maybe a little bit of an a-hole at some points, unfortunately.
Well, we're all young at some point. He was young.
Yeah.
Right.
He was in the thick of it all too, making these movies. I mean, I'm not saying it to justify his actions, but when you're in the movie, obviously things get heated, things get stressful, especially when you're in giant suits that can wear you down because of Terry Crews level sweat. Not to make it humorous, but to actually be serious for a moment. There's a lot going on. Obviously, he also Sam Jones. I don't know if this got covered earlier, but if it did for repetition, I apologize. But he did do most of his own stunts in the movie. Granted, it's nothing overly complex, but he did do most of the work himself. So obviously, he was definitely feeling worn down. And there was a plan for this to initially be a series of movies. Obviously, that didn't turn out to be the case. He was hoping for that. And obviously, he had a falling out with De Laurentiis because he was hoping for a series, and it only ended up being one movie. I think there was even a lawsuit. It didn't look too further into it, but I do know there was at least the very minimum talks of him doing it because he was hoping for that. But sometimes when things bomb at the movie theaters, it's just how it is, unfortunately. And I think because that's if there was merit to him suing, that could be why he didn't finish the movie completely, because
Dino passed away.
Scenes. Go ahead.
Well, sorry, I was going to say Dino passed away, and then maybe would have come back, but he tried to sue over the second and third movies once he got fired, but they never made the movie, so it's kind of a moot. They do mention that in the documentary, so it ended up being kind of a moot point. But maybe they would have come to an agreement. But I really wish it wasn't his voice. His damn voice is dubbed over because he's got such a great voice when you hear him.
Well, he was lucky it was him at all. There was talk back then in Starlog magazine, other things that they thought about Kurt Russell for a while, of all people.
I could see that. Yeah. I can actually see that. Yeah, I could definitely see that.
I don't know how serious they were. He'd been of course, he'd been in a lot of Disney movies and a lot of movies as a kid. He also did the Elvis miniseries.
He's Elvis
at the time,
and then Escape from New York had just come out, right?
It was on the way. Wasn't before this.
Okay.
It was 81, I believe. Or
What's
81
interesting about the parts for when Sam Jones' actual voice is overdubbed on some parts, it's not gotten out there to this very day who actually did those parts. So whoever actually did them, they have stayed in the closet and have yet to come out of it about it. And I'm hoping that once I figure out
Weingart knows who it is, he said in the documentary.
Really?
But he won't say he won't say the name.
Now I was initially going to watch that documentary, but now that speeds up the process. I would like to know because it makes me wonder who
he doesn't. They don't say who it is. Yeah.
No, they don't. It's never truly gotten out there, and I've watched some videos on YouTube about over years, and people talk about it. It's like, who was it? Who was it? I want to know. I want to know.
I got to know.
Thomas won't say he was lucky to meet Sam Jones twice. He seemed like a nice guy. He really humble about people. Want a signature just to meet him. Oh yeah, man. I mean, now he's got age, experience, and wisdom at his side, and reflection on top of it. That's another thing. Reflection. He got to see, even though his movie bombed in the box office, he got to see not only gain a cult following once, but twice, because there's a following it gained after the movie came out over time. But then there was after Ted. I know a lot. Ted helped to gain a lot of eyes on it as well. And I remember I knew a lot of people even who were around my age group who never caught this movie. And because of Ted, I guess I should go watch Flash Gordon. So, no, shout out to, I don't know whose idea it was to put Gordon in Ted, whether it was the director or Mark Wahlberg, but I'm glad it happened because
good night, Penny.
It brought in a few generations of fans. And
they should have
checking out this movie.
They should have had Robert Risley do his voice.
Yes.
What Robert Risley? What are his?
He did the voice on my favorite. This is not my favorite Flash Gordon movie. Bruce, someone's talking. Clytus is talking about it in the back chat. Flash Gordon, the greatest adventure of all, is a far superior film to this in every single measure, and more like the comics. But that's an animated movie. But anyway, that's another story.
Posted in the private chat.
Yes, Clytus put some info about it in there. But that's if you ever get a chance, and you can find it on YouTube. I've of course watched it. So I've watched that. If there's anything I've watched more than this movie called Flash Gordon, it's that one. It's the animated film. It's an animated movie based by Lou Scheimer, who did the original animated cartoon. And I remember recording it off of NBC the one time it aired, and
once in 1982,
and watched it that night. I recorded, sat there, cut the commercials, and watched that thing about 4 billion times. So good.
Okay.
Better than the cartoon that it was based that it came from, and it's better than this, even though this is fun. If you're Flash Gordon fig, anyway.
If you like Flash Gordon, please watch it.
Yeah, if you're a Flash Gordon fanatic, you got to watch Flash Gordon: The Greatest Adventure of All.
Yeah, Robert Ridgely completely sells it in that show.
Yes, perfect. Great voice.
Well, I'm
Oh,
sold
and
on
here's
watching
something else I found out too watching the documentary. Of course, Freddie Mercury used to wear the
Flash
shirt, right?
Yeah, I've seen these shots before.
And then what he and he would come out. Watch this. He'd come out on top of Darth Vader at the concerts.
I remember this.
So then George Lucas didn't like it too much, and he threatened to sue. So there's Freddie on top of Darth Vader. He's like,
he liked having a big black thing between his legs, apparently.
By the way, Bruce,
helmet.
You can't even get that movie. You have to. That's a bootleg. Flash Gordon: The Greatest Adventure of All.
Oh, it is. Yeah.
Not legal.
Why is that? They just never came out with it, or
no. No.
When I got something else to show Matt.
It's on YouTube, I think, for free.
Lucas is just mad that he didn't have a big black.
You get a bootleg, but it's
his
not.
leg.
There's no legal. I'm sorry, Mark. I'm sorry.
Oh no, it's okay. No, I just wondering.
Go ahead.
I was just saying, Lucas is jealous he didn't have a big black thing between his leg the way
A
Freddie
big black
Mercury
helmet
did.
between his legs.
Yeah. That's what
If you're a member of Nick's Gilded, I will post a copy of it in Nick's Gilded.
Yeah, it's great to have.
Like
It's great to watch.
Namor. Can you go back down? He looks like Namor.
When they put the box set of the cartoon on, they didn't put that movie on there.
So here's there's a promo art with the green, the green shorts. Later on, the shorts are black, but
see that cover is based on an old Alex Raymond hardcover of Flash Gordon reprints from the 70s. Not that one, but the other one.
Yeah,
Flash Gordon, The Water World of Mongo. I have it.
Hi,
guest was
Tom.
Hey.
Tom slid in at the perfect time.
Welcome, Tom.
Hail, Tom.
How's everybody doing?
Hello.
We're good, man.
well.
Have the floor.
What's up, dude?
You haven't been here, and I know you posted a new video. Talk about your life experience with the Gordon. Did you get the diddly from it?
I mean, it was a movie I think I saw as a kid, and it just kind of was there. Of course, I love the soundtrack. And I do have the special edition of the soundtrack. I'll go grab it here, but it's nothing really special. It's just 2 discs. It's a CD. The cover's the same, but I think there's a fold out like on the inside that has some pictures and stuff in it. But otherwise, it's just the stuff that's on it that's more or less collectible. Different versions of all the songs and the singles and all that stuff. Otherwise, as far as the movie goes, I mean, it's very cheesy and corny, but it has a lot of elements that it's kind of like one of those movies that's like a bridge between the sci-fi of old and the sci-fi of new. It's a lot of fun, well cast, extremely cool production design. I really love the Art Deco 40s style meets, like I said, the 70s sci-fi kind of look. No, I enjoyed it quite a bit. I wouldn't put it on a level of like some other sci-fi films, but I mean, it's for an updated version of Flash Gordon. I thought it was very well done. So yeah, it's not one of my uber favorites though. So that's like another reason why I wasn't like heartbroken that I missed the show. I was more heartbroken that I missed Crocodile Dundee.
Love it.
That was a really fun show, but it's okay.
Yeah, I mean,
go ahead, Tom. I mean, Clobby.
No, I'm just going to say a lot of what Tom said. I mean, that's one of the reasons why this film was not very critically well reviewed at the time, if I remember right. Again, it came just a few months after The Empire Strikes Back, had blown people away. And the problem is, there is not just because Lorenzo Simple Jr., a Batman writer, wrote this, the Batman craze died out, the camp craze died out for a while, And this does have a lot of that kind of camp element, whether we like it or not. I love the movie, and I loved it then. But a lot of people, a lot of younger people of us liked it anyway. But there were a lot of people, they wanted Star Wars. And this is, Star Wars is played very seriously. I mean, it's not super dark or anything, but it's played very seriously. It's fun, but serious. This has a lot of camp elements in it. And that, I think that hurt it at that point in 1980 when people didn't really want that. And it's grown over time. It's aged beautifully because a lot of people were very young watching it, either at the theater in 1980, like I did a million times, or on cable over and over again, grew up loving it when they were younger. And now it's absolutely has the best nostalgia glasses you could ever see. I mean, it really aged very well. At the time, it was a joke in the sense that people loved the music. They thought it was, some of us thought it was fun and kept watching it, but everybody made fun of it. It got ridiculed. This movie, believe me, at that point, if you were around at the time, if you were a young adult at the time, most people made fun of that movie. Even the song, they said they liked the music, but the song would make fun of it. It was silly, has a silly soundtrack. It's not serious. They love Queen. I'm just telling you the way.
I know you're being factual.
I was there. Trust me, I was there.
I've got a different perspective coming from the UK because it was hugely popular in the UK.
People loved the music.
And people they loved the movie. It was a very big movie in the UK.
Did make a lot of, it didn't do very well though.
Did great there, right?
It did in the UK. A lot of it. It didn't make a lot of
Worldwide,
money. I'm giving you the British perspective, okay? 'Cause I was there. Like you say, you were there. I was there too in the UK.
Okay.
Hugely popular, well loved, not ridiculed in the way that you're talking about. That's a North American thing. It was extremely popular in the UK.
That's great.
Yeah.
I wasn't there. I just know that over here, it got made. Don't get me wrong. I loved it. A lot of people loved it, but I went like 16 times. But it got made fun of a lot over here. People, take things too seriously sometimes.
Maybe, yeah. I mean,
the box office in Britain was, I think, 20 million or 30 million. Something.
It made a lot of money in the UK, not Italy because of the Italian connection. But it was a very popular movie. Now, maybe it's because Queen were a huge band in Britain, always were and always will be. But
I had the 8-track and played it over and over again.
Nice.
Yeah.
So
that's good to hear. I'm glad because at the time, people liked it but made fun of it. I'm not saying everybody hated it. It didn't get the kind of reviews like a Star Wars or an Empire Strikes Back did.
No, I don't think
people just don't like the camp.
Nobody saw it like that. I think they
in other words,
the humor in it.
People in America should not see it come out in 1989.
It just got look at it, put it this way, it was kind of campy, like Tom was saying. It's cheesy in a fun way. But a lot of people back then, I mean, that just wasn't
something else, I guess.
Didn't hit the zeitgeist. It didn't, it was after Star Wars.
Quite there.
Star Wars was huge. Everyone kept, then Star Trek came out, and they're like, "What space?
Right.
What do we have that we can do that's outer space?" Battlestar Galactica came
everybody
out.
wanted to rip it off.
V. I think V was maybe later, a little bit later, but yeah, everything was going sci-fi and space, and Buck Rogers, of course, came to TV again, and. I love this. The more I watch this movie, the more I think it's an awesome movie.
I've always loved it.
It's got a great heart to it. It's like the Batman 66 series. It's a spoof and campy, but it's got a great heart to it, and it's serious in its campiness. If that ever makes sense to anyone.
It's committed to it. It committed to its campiness.
Yeah. It plays it the whole way through, and also, I've been hearing this song all day. I can't get that out of my. I mean, how great that. I mean, people who don't even know Flash Gordon know that song and that lyric there, and that Brian May talks about how he came up with the song. He had the intro in his head, and then Freddie came up with some other stuff, the battle song, and a couple other songs, but that was Brian May, and it was in his head, and that's just such a good earworm. It's just so good. Yeah.
All right. Chernobyl, who's been a Dolph Lundgren member for 5 months. Hey, Nick, have you done a Toxic Tuesday and everything you always wanted to know about sex? Oh, we're afraid to ask with Burt Reynolds. We have not done one single Burt Reynolds movie yet, but we got a Burt Reynolds movie.
I'm afraid to ask.
So Burt Reynolds is the star of this movie is Gene Wilder, who falls in love with a sheep. Okay, Gene Wilder is the star.
This is your movie. Oh my
This
god!
is a 70s movie.
Wait a minute, 70s. This isn't a Woody Allen movie.
It is a Woody Allen movie, but Gene Wilder's part is with the sheep, because it's like a what do they call it? It's like 4 different stories. It's one of those
Right.
movies. It's not continuous.
I don't
So
think
there's-
Bert's in it much, right?
No, he's not in it much. There's the whole sperm scenes with the black sperm amongst the white sperm. What am I doing here? But Gene Wilder's section is where he falls in love with a sheep.
Yeah.
Anyways, sperm and all.
It's a funny movie, but I don't know. If it's
Yeah.
enough for Toxic Tuesday. Yeah. I don't know. What do you call a movie that's like had 4 different stories in it, or
Anthology.
Yeah, it's an anthology. Yeah, that's that kind of thing.
Kind of like heavy metal.
Yeah, that would be
Yeah,
stories.
that should be
kind of.
Toxic Tuesday.
Oh, we did that one before.
Yeah,
Alright,
we
yeah.
oh, that was
That's right, you
fun.
did.
Email was a blast. All right,
did.
chat. Now is that time. You do the scores. I'm good at blazing through them, thankfully. Clytus, since you were in the movie, why don't you give us a quick, snappy thought on your thoughts on this movie?
I love this movie. This is a fantastic film, and I even pull off a little bit of Marty Friedman at the very end with my eyes bulging out of my skull as I collapse there on this little stabby platform, as I called it. And those little pricks that I had installed as a bonus item, they've made me bonus holes. I feel this movie is fantastic, and if you have problems with your sexuality, watch it a couple of times, but you'll be fixed. Aurelia Muti's in it, and we were always competing for her attention on and off set. What a lovely young girl. And it was great to tie her down with those little golden hands. If only you had been there with us on set, you would have been throbbing and raging. It was wonderful. Out of 100 points, I give it a 70. Toxicity. Aurelia helps catapult the movie into the 90s. This movie rates a 1993 out of 100. It's yes. So much baby batter was made on the set. It was a wonderful experience. I hope all of you have a great night, and thank you for allowing me to be here. This was fantabulous.
The pleasure is all mine, Clytus, literally and figuratively.
You know, the other thing I forgot to mention is Clytus stopped filming because he didn't want to die in this. So he thought he was too important and there would be a sequel. So he actually stopped filming and got in an argument with Brian Blessed. Brian Blessed told him, fuck off, get out there and die right now. It's in the script.
That's funny.
Brian Blessed?
So the hand, you know, that picks up Ming's ring at the end,
Mm-hmm.
everyone says Clytus, not Ming. So Clytus somehow survives.
Well, they were so sure that they had a sequel that not only was there like the ring, the whole thing with the ring, but then when it shows the end credit, it shows the end and then question mark. And on top of it, Flash was staying there in space, like almost like as if he had more work to do, because the original mission was to get back home. Obviously, that didn't pan out.
Yeah.
So
Maybe
yeah, they were so sure that they had a sequel, and then it had to have been a shock for everyone when it didn't pan out.
Maybe they just reinflated Clytus because he did kind of just
and
it deflate, didn't he? Yeah.
Yeah, they gave him they put juice back in him. He was fine.
Yeah.
It's like Darth Maul.
They pumped him hard,
put them
full of air.
together.
All right, Mark, why don't you go off on your thoughts on the flick?
I mean, this movie ages. It's one of those movies that ages better and better, and you can really appreciate what they were going for. And I didn't even think they knew how good it was when they were making it. Probably it was such a difficult production as they were making the movie, and you know all these practical effects that I just love. I think they really look great. I mean, they're consistently in the same look. So yeah, if you haven't seen this, you know the Queen soundtrack is great. Brian Blessed, I'm uploading a clip just now. I'm going to play Brian Blessed. It's one of my favorite clips of the movie, and he gives a great performance. Dalton's great. Flat, you know, Sam, he's great. There's gorgeous women in this. Sorry, Handy Randy, Mads. So the costume design is phenomenal. It brings you back to that, you know, sci-fi that probably, you know, my parents grew up with, or, you know, your grandparents, depending on how old you are. Because it's, you know, that's that was the origin of sci-fi. You know, Buck Rogers, Flash Gordon. If you watched all those 50s TV shows, you know, no, we didn't watch them, but it's, you know, kids, we heard about them, you know, how popular they were. And they're just innocent, pure, you know, good versus evil. There's no social, societal crap in these. They're just fun adventures, and the bad guy, you know, is gonna lose. But yeah, it's just a damn fun movie to watch, and it's just great on the big screen with a good sound, you know, speakers. If you're blasting this. It's the kind of movie that, you know, neighbors wonder, what are you playing? Yeah, just I just, you know, watching it again, I'm like, damn, this is good. I mean, it's not a cheesy, you know, silly silly movie. It's classic, and it's become a cult classic for good reason. Here, I'll play this short little clip of the great Brian Blessed, who's still with us, thank God.
Oh, well, who wants to live forever?
There's that kick-ass rock version of the theme.
You think he ever played like a calm person in any movie? Like,
Mr. Rogers.
I'm this character. You guys, how's it going, man? I'm kind of laid back. I don't get excited easily or anything like that. How you doing there, Brian? That's my name. What's up, guys? Hey. Yeah. Ever? I mean,
I don't think so, right?
I hope not.
Do you have anything else, Sir Mark?
No, I'll keep it short, but go watch Flash if you haven't, and it's just and the actor, it's a great life story too. Watch that documentary. I put the the link again.
Let's
It's
plug
two,
that.
on
Let's
Tubi,
plug
it's
it
free
in
to-
the chat. Let's plug it in the chat so people know where to watch it and put it.
And it's free to watch on the Tubies. So check it out. Free.
All right, Stephen
Wow.
M. Kell, overall score 9, toxic masculinity score 10 out of
Hey.
10. Keely Chow, toxicity overall 10-10, 10-10. TZ, toxic 8, overall 9. Freddie writing Darth Vader, 10, gay. And we lost somebody. He'll be back.
Who's gone?
Bruce. He probably had computer issues. Darth Viewer, movie is a 9 out of 10 for nostalgia and fun. Great sets and costumes, 9 out of 10 for toxicity. A lot of hot chicks in the film. 6 Nations, 31 Kings. Toxicity 9, soundtrack 10, Sing Clad 80s Babes 10, Masculinity 10, Normie the Navi 4:45 morning, night 10-10, love it. Juggalo Deathcock, haven't watched all the way through it. Only time I had a chance to rent it when I was working nights, but the soundtrack is a 9 out of 10 Jim. All right, I'll take that. And Vulcan Lives, Toxicity 8, overall 9, fun factor 100 of 100. 70s, go ahead and your thoughts.
Yeah, and I didn't mean to contradict my good buddy, my brother Globby there, who's
No, you were right. I'm glad to hear it, dude.
Who obviously, yeah, I'm coming at it from a very different cultural perspective.
Yeah.
So I appreciate what you're saying, and I could see exactly why people would say that, the things you were talking about.
Yeah.
Just that for me, I was immersed in a scenario where I and my peers loved it.
Look, I think I'm kind of speaking anecdotally. I'm hearing the things I read and critics and shit. But,
Well, the critic, to be fair, the critics nowhere. Not many critics liked it anywhere, whether it was the UK or
it didn't do critically well. No, look, believe me, I'm so glad. I could not be more related that you're telling me that, but I'm glad you did, brother.
So yeah, I mean, and maybe it was just the time, the cultural zeitgeist of the time. I was late teens, heavily into Queen as a band, heavily into science fiction. Everybody loved this movie. I loved it then. Seeing it then, I've always loved it, and I always will love it. It's campy, flamboyant, colorful fun, not meant to be taken seriously. And I could see people who think that the character should have been treated seriously wouldn't like it. I can get that. Although to be fair, Flash himself is played fairly straight in it. I just think it's such great fun. Its pacing is brilliant. The sets, the costumes, the comedy, everything about it I love. I certainly love the music a lot. Toxicity, it's probably not the most toxic thing. It was only a PG. It's maybe like a 6.5 out of 10 toxicity. If we'd seen the boar worms in action, maybe that would have been more.
I wish we had.
I wish we had. It's certainly got some hot girls in it and some hot costumes, which is great. It's such a great cast as well. I mean, and such a lovable cast. For me, it is and always will be a 10 out of 10.
Thank you, 70s. Guys, we're going to have Tom go because he's going to get Mead Radio going in a few minutes, and we're going to set up the link in the chat. So that way you guys can all hang out with Tom on Mead Radio. So, Tom, go ahead and say your final thoughts.
Yeah,
we'll make sure we bring a crowd to you.
Yeah, maybe I'll even kick it off with Flash.
It says live stream offline there, dude.
Yeah, it'll be coming soon. I got to go get it all set up.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. Hopefully it's the right link this time. I don't know. Every time I try to do this, it hasn't worked out correctly, but we'll see. As far as the film goes, I mean, again, I hear the passion in the guys that love this, and I love it. This was just not one of those movies I grew up with. Kind of like you guys were saying before. I didn't want to interrupt because you guys were, Mark and everybody were just so on point. You know, I can see where Brian was saying with, you know, in the UK, this film was much bigger than it was here in the US. In the US here, it was seen as kind of this campy, kind of the same way, you know, the Batman series was seen, especially after you've seen Star Wars, right? And Alien, it comes along not too long later and all that stuff. Like, so like you like look at this and you're like, well, this is like a kid's cartoon, but it has gained a cult following here in the US. So I would have to give it like a 7 or an 8 out of 10 at best for the film itself. As far as toxicity goes, there's a lot of great maleness in this movie. Some hot chicks, or at least one anyway that I can think of, or couple anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, no, overall I'd give it maybe like a 5 or a 6 out of 10, maybe a 7. It squeaks in there at some point. But no, it's a great film, and I just loved listening to you guys while I was editing and cooking in the background, talking about how much you love the movie.
All right, Tom,
we love it.
Yeah, dropping in, sir, and we'll make sure we send the crowd your way for after the show.
All right, Tom, brother.
See you, man.
Later, bro.
Take care, Tom.
All right, Dustin.
Just to kind of mirror what Tom said, it's like a like thinking back, like it is like a live action cartoon. I mean, it's obviously not very serious. It's a great movie overall. The soundtrack is amazing. I mean, it's like kind of like the birth of power metal. Like between this and like The Last Unicorn, even though that was America, which is weird, but it still has that power metal vibe to it. But yeah, coming off the heels of Star Wars, Alien, and all that stuff, yeah, like this is definitely a different kind of feeling movie from all of those. So I think it's underrated. It's a fantastic movie to watch. Soundtrack's amazing. Give it 9.5 out of 10 for greatness. I mean, there's no really other movies like it. And toxicity, I didn't really think it was all that toxic, really, but I mean, I'd probably go 6 out of 10.
Okay. Well, I appreciate.
Oh, I forgot to.
Real Dustin.
Sorry.
Go ahead, Mark. Go ahead.
I forgot to give my scores and all the excitement too.
Oh, you and Bobby were next. Oh yeah, no.
I know I already went, but I've already my scores. So I just quickly say,
wait, Mark.
I give it a 9.5. You know, 8. It's a definite A. And toxicity, Ming is pretty toxic, and man, his daughter's toxic too. So I give it like a 6. But I just want to get my scores on the record for this one.
As one should. Bobby.
Yeah, man, I appreciate being here, and I love it. I just love this movie so much. I always have. I should have been over there with Brian over there with my UK brothers, because I would have been up there, defending this movie. It got picked on a little bit, but I think again, everybody I knew loved it. It's just it did get a little bit of criticism, I think, and but it stayed in theaters a while. It must have went I think I lost count at about 16 times. In 80/81, because it bled into 81. It stayed in the theaters for so long. I love it. Ironically, someone here, I forgot who it was, mentioned it being a live action cartoon. as I mentioned earlier, Flash Gordon, the greatest adventure of all, the TV movie cartoon, well, it was only aired once on national television, is the more serious adaptation of the Alex Raymond source material. And it's wonderful and beautiful, and that's my favorite because that's what I want to see. However, this movie's just irresistibly fun. I don't really mind the camp because I'm a fan of the Batman TV show. At that time, it was a little. We hadn't seen much anyone doing something like except a few years earlier. George Powell did an adaptation of Doc Savage with Ron Ely, which didn't go over that well, and he kind of made it extremely campy. And at that time, that's like 10 years after the Batman TV show, and it fell flat for a lot of reasons. This one, however, benefited from having the Queen soundtrack, having just made it into theaters and lasted a lot longer. I love it. It's my heart wants to go to a 10, but I think the last half of the film seems very choppy, poorly edited, and some things were chopped out. Even so in 1980, I was thinking there seems to be a lot of things missing in there, a very rushed type of an ending. So I'll give it like a 9.5 for that, just on the technical level. The soundtrack almost gets it up to the 10 now. And as for toxicity, I would say the toxicity is at least up to about an 8.5, or something like that, because you got a lot of super maleness. You've got the test of manhood. You got Ming, who basically.
Oh, dude, Ming is the toxic
the scene with the ring alone.
Mm-hmm.
The Ming ring, do your thing scene alone. That's pretty suggestive.
Never had a reaction like that before, have we?
No.
That's right.
I like that one, the Ming ring.
What did Flash say? I don't know, but it was pretty sensational. But he's like, I mean, he almost doesn't give a crap what's happened to her. He's like, yeah, that was something. So, and again, there's a lot of the other scenes, just in like the scenes with Dale in the slave chambers with the slave girls. Mm-hmm. And of course, Ornella Muty's fantastic and all of her stuff. Yeah, it's pretty toxic. And I just love the film. And thanks for having me here to talk about it, brother. And there we go.
No, thanks for being here, Claudia. Love having you on to talk about this excellent flick. Cavatino Cavalryman Che says 88 out of 100 toxic masculinity for Flash's tight end, 7 touchdowns for action scenes as a Jet, and better than believing Rachel Zegler as an action star. Oh God, yeah. 300 Hawkman. Because it gives them wings. I understood that reference. All right. For my thoughts, I'm going to be very quick so we can get the chat on into Tom's show. For me, I'm going to give this movie about 80, I'd say 8.3 out of 10 in terms of quality. You have an outstanding lead, really standard conventional story format, but it's the fun and the journey along the way that he has so much fun with, and the music is incredible. The colors are absolutely, I mean, to me, the colors rival The Wall in terms of like how wild and spectaculish they are. The action is great, and at times even suspenseful. Even after how many years it's come out later, I still feel like, wow, this is like really cool. The comedy moments land, the super serious moments land. Outstanding performances from all. Pretty much, I have nothing original to say. It's just, I'm just stating the obvious. And the fact that this movie still gets to have a life, few generations later, I'm so happy for that, for everyone who got to work on this movie, particularly Sam Jones. He definitely seems to have had a new lease on life with reflection for this movie. So we'll never know what it was like to have a sequel, but at least we got this, and we feel like we got a movie that was meant to be, was supposed to be on full display. We don't even get that even one time. So I'm happy we got Flash Gordon the way we did. And now I'm with Clawby on the toxicity. I'm going to probably go with like a 7.5 because Ming was pure toxic masculinity. And there were some moments where good old Flash himself was on the ship and he was saying he was a little turned on from Princess Ara. I'd say 7.5. And then all the Hawkmen with their outfits. Yeah, this movie was like, it was like homoerotic Nirvana. Homoerotic Nirvana was what this was. So yeah, I'll go 7.5 for the toxicity. So anyways, next week we are talking on here. This has been a long awaited one. I remember people asking us one back in the days when we were covering movies like Porky's and Revenge of the Nerds. There was a specific movie that we didn't get to, and people are like, "Hey, you left that one out." I'm like, "What's the one we left out?" Well, you know what that one we left out is? You want to know what it is? Next week, we're talking bachelor party.
Oh my God. It's donkey time. Eeyore is going to show up.
Good luck finding on streaming service. I would just say the internet's your best friend if you got on physical media, as one should.
Oh, you can't get that streaming? Tom Hanks
find
buried
it,
that
let
one?
me know.
What movie is it?
I
Bachelor
own
Party.
it.
Here,
I
let me
own
look
it.
and
so-
see.
Hold on.
Anyways, bachelor parties next week.
Nice.
It's gonna be utterly the next.
We're
week's
already
gonna be
demonetized.
doozy. Yeah. Oh, we'll be demonetized
Ronnie
before the
Katang.
show even starts. We will have to even utter a word, and it's already been demonetized. We might even have to it'll probably get age restricted, whatever. We're gonna have fun next week talking bachelor party. So
Well, you
I
can buy
can't
the
wait.
Blu-ray. Blu-ray.
Go
for
buy the
11
Blu-ray if you
$11
somehow
on Amazon. Yeah.
seriously. Go buy the Blu-ray. It's really cheap and affordable. And they'll be like, why are these people buying the copy?
I don't even have a Blu-ray player, so it wouldn't be cheap and affordable for me.
Oh,
I think
You
I'll
should
buy a
get a
player.
Blu-ray player.
Those are pretty cheap.
Yeah, they're really affordable. And we have not done Steel Magnolias yet.
That will be a long yet.
It's on Star.
It's on the
Oh,
list
man.
though.
All
We'll
right.
we'll do Yentl after that.
All right. Anyways, let's see. Real quickly on my channel, obviously Comic Shop Talk Friday night. I'll be recording video Ironcaster and Aaron Sparrow tomorrow night, talking Cobra Commander #2. And of course, Midnight's Edge Thursday, along with Comics Division's Thursday Night Throwdown, right after on my channel. And whatever else comes up. That's coming out my way. I'm gonna let Bruce plug his plug on the way out.
Okay, so you've heard me as Clytus all night tonight. I've been working on these miserable little the Black Orcs. Anyway, so Saturday of this coming week, I'll be running a alpha campaign. I've been writing my own RPG for quite a while and putting it in practice now, which is fantastic and fun. If you want to see a 7 to 10 hour stream of people actually enjoying the game, having role-playing portions of it, a combat system that's fast, please come over to my channel. On Thursday night, I have a panel of game masters that I have over 80 years combined of running games at tables with dice and miniatures. Other places they may do theater of the mind. But please swing by. I've been on this YouTube thing for quite a while, and I would love to piss off the people at YouTube with more fans. Thank you.
Oh, thank you, Bruce. And thank you, Claudius, for filling in for Bruce. You filled in a nice hole for him, sir. I can't wait to have our Bruce back to talk about Bachelor Party. Until then, Claudius, you have a magical, handy, Randy.
I believe there's a link somewhere in your Gilded if people don't have a Blu-ray.
Ooh. It's been pleasuring, Claudius. But we got a Keto Simple one who needs to plug his plug on the way out, too.
Catch me tomorrow at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'm going to go live on the new Vertical Live, provided I can talk. I got to go to the dentist in the morning, so we'll see how that goes. I'm having a toothache, so we'll see how that goes. If not, I will move that Tuesday or the Wednesday live to somewhere else, and then you can catch me Saturday mornings with a guest and Sundays with my coffee, and every Tuesday night with my wife Chandra. We do lives, and then I put out videos here and there and shorts when I do it. If you're curious about keto and all that fun stuff, hit me up. We'll have a good time. Thank you for having me. I love you long time.
Oh. Until next time, dude. Thanks for being here, Dustin. Go sub to Keto Simple, guys. And thank you, Vulcan Liz, for being here, sir. All right. We got a Wild 70s who has a plug to plug on the way out.
Well, thank you, Nick, and my fellow panelists, and thank you to everybody in the chat for another great show. I will be on various things as usual. Been a little bit quiet in the channel recently because I've had a few issues, one of them being my shoulder, but other things going on in real life. But hopefully things will be picking up again soon. Thursday night will be Thursday Night Throwdown on Comics Division. Saturday night with Brahma Bull, we do Bourbon and Boarding hockey show.
Rangers.
Yeah, screw the Rangers. That's all I can say. They should never have beaten us today. I don't know how. It's your goalie stood in his head today. The Stars should have won that game, but
sorry, I feel bad with your bad shoulder, but I'll take that one up.
But it would help if we could put the biscuit in the basket as well. But yeah. So Bourbon and Boarding, Brahma Bull and I Saturday night. Sunday we'll be doing on your channel, I believe, Nick. We're doing a version of the shit list. Normally,
yes.
Edge After Dark.
Yeah, I forgot to mention that. You're right. This Sunday we're doing the shit list on this channel right here, Sunday night,
and it will be our 5 most toxic movies of all time. We think,
nice,
in our opinion. It's so tough to do that. That's going to be a tough one. Looking forward to that a lot. Possibly a Culture After Dark. I will be on that later that Sunday as well. But next Monday on my channel, a return to live shows on my channel after missing a week. We are doing an edition of the Cult Comedy Crew, and we're going to be dissecting the Steve Martin classic, The Jerk.
Nice.
That's toxic.
Yeah, and you're all welcome. You're all welcome to join me on that show. So that will be fun. And I think back to when I saw that in the cinema, we didn't have Saturday Night Live in the UK. So that was the first time. I think that was the first time I'd ever seen Steve Martin.
Oh, wow.
And I went, this is brilliant. Who is this guy? This guy's great.
Great.
So we'd heard of it, but it wasn't broadcast in the UK. So a lot of our exposure to those guys was in movies. The first movies they made. So great movie. Meathead's dad wrote and directed that, of course, Carl Reiner.
Great movie.
So that was the first time you saw that poor black child.
It was a poor black child. Jumped down, turned around, pick a bail cat.
All right, so let's be in touch tomorrow so we can start getting our list. And yes, we will do the Jerk for Toxic Tuesday inevitably too, but we got talks so we can get our list assembled and how we want to go about doing it, and see if we could get 1 or 2 more dudes in on it as well. So, because we have a lot of holes to fill, sir. And I believe in you and I, we can do it together.
I think we can do it together. We will be able to make it come together.
Klobby.
Yes, sir. Well, thanks for having me. It was always great fun hanging out with my good buddies, 70s, and Mark, and you, and everybody, and Bruce, and Clytus, and Tom. And I hope I didn't forget everybody. Good to see you. Oh, good to see you all. And the great chat. It was fun. So, tomorrow night. What is tomorrow? Oh, yeah, Wednesday. I'll have my Wild Card Wednesday night show, which is just going to be a Superman topic of some sort. And then the Clubhouse on Thursday night. All my shows are 9 p.m. Central on my channel. It's the Clubhouse Thursday night. Go back to our Blake 7 review. And then J-Man show Friday night. We'll be doing a Frank Miller review show there with J-Man and Sean, only to hang with you guys afterwards on the comic shop show. And then finishing out the week on Saturday night Star Trek with 4 more episodes reviewed. And then Sunday, you know where I'll be with the great Mark D with the C on this channel, the Geekery. Thanks for having me, buddy.
No, thank you, man. Happy you're able to come back to Toxic Tuesday once more. I'm sure it won't be long until we have you back on for another round of greatness.
Appreciate it, bud.
No, thank you. And Mark, thank you and Eric K for plugging in the channels for all the dudes on the panel. And thank you as always for your visual greatness. As always, you made us another show of wondrous spectacle. You paragon of virtue, Thank you very much.
Thank you.
What do you got to plug on the way out to Tom's Radio?
Yeah, so well, everyone go hang out with Tom. Did you link it so it goes direct? YouTube has it.
I don't know how to do it, but
you go to YouTube Studio, and then you go into and then you go. Where do you go into YouTube Studio? No, there's a way, and then you go into like this current video. You edit this current video, and then you go down, and there's something that said link to the another streamer, and then you can put the link in, or you can just search for Midnight's Edge After Dark, and then you can actually add that as a. I'm probably not explaining it well, but then you can add it right in. So then once this show ends, it just flips over to Tom's, which is pretty cool. So that's a nice way to do it. Yep, YouTube actually added a cool feature. But yeah, I'm looking forward to
redirect.
Yeah, redirect. Yeah, that's it. Redirect. Yep. And then you have to search for the video, or you can put the link.
I found it. I think I found it. Mead Radio 2 for Tuesday. Okay,
there you go.
I got it. All right. Well, I hope
just
it
stay
works.
here, and then it automatically once we end the stream, then it automatically goes there, which is pretty cool. Yep. So, but yeah, no, this is a fun movie to clip. Oh, and I posted in the chat. They did find out who was the voice, dubbed the voice. It's Peter Marinker. Marinker. Thank you. So he finally came out as the voice of the Flash.
Closet. Oh,
yeah,
so funny and brave of him.
But I shall be on, of course, the Thursday night Clubhouse at Clobber Times with Raquel. I'll be doing a watch party for Blake 7, season 2, episode 2 or 3. I can't remember.
Episode
I think
2, Shadow.
Episode 2. So I'll be doing that about 9 p.m. And of course, 10 p.m. Eastern, Sunday Night Geekery, where we talk all cool things like that new Madam Web TV show that came out that hopefully was a movie that came out hopefully so successful to turn into a Broadway musical someday. We just hang out. Clobber Times is always there, a bunch of the gang, and then eventually we devolve into talking food. And I did make a really good fondue. I got to post that in the Gilded in my Discord.
You fondled? Who did you fondle?
I fondled.
Somebody named Do.
Yeah, they do. Yeah, I fondled the do, and I got to post that recipe or family recipe for fondue. So it's a good time of year to make it. If you're up in the north where it's cold, and Chicago area, it's it's like pizza with just the cheese, right? And a lot of alcohol. So I got to post that recipe for everyone. But
post it, man.
And let me put my I might as well put my link in. And if you do want to buy
plug your plug on the way out, bro.
Let me plug the plug here. And if you do want to get a Doomsday Machine, I've got those available here too on Ko-fi and eBay. So here's that link. And then we have a Clubhouse Discord. F you, Discord. But Discord with a bunch of guys. Whenever I hear Discord, I hear that. Fuck you, Gilded.
Fuck you, Gilded.
There we go. Much better.
Yeah.
But it was a great time tonight, and great hanging out with you guys. And I keep hearing this song, so I got to play it again. Everyone's hearing that all night, I hope, in their head.
As one should. Mark, thank you as always for everything you've done, sir. Guys, it's been fucking awesome. And in case somehow it doesn't work, because I've never done this before, guys, go raid Tom's stream, Mead Radio. He's DJing right now. He's a great DJ at that. I'm just gonna double check that. I made sure I posted the right plug in there. And I think I did post the right plug. Okay, yeah, I did. So that's the link right there. Guys, thank you for supporting Toxic Tuesday. Next week, Bachelor Party, okay? And thank you, Stephen M. Kell, for hanging out, sir. It's always a fun time hanging out with the dudes. Until then, guys, go hang Tom. Go let him know that you guys came over and from the next stream of Toxic.